And we are live. Hello, everybody. See if anyone shows up. I know it's a little late tonight, but why not? Yeah, I gotta compete. Let's see here. So we're gonna wait a little bit, see if everybody shows up, and then kind of go from there. Carlos, how you doing? How are you doing? Everybody's having a good weekend so far. Ooh, we got 4. Better than that. So yeah, I think we're gonna do a couple different things tonight. Then yeah, we probably will get into try to do some sovereign citizen bingo. I found a card or two, and I didn't want to just rip off RDs or Angry Cops is one that they use. But yeah, I thought we could try it a little bit. It's hard finding the originals of everything because so much of it's like gone off the internet or in different places now. So there's a couple places we'll try to make it work. Um, hmm. In the meantime, though, I thought this was interesting. On Twitter today, apparently, I thought it was really bad because they had Gary Busey's name everywhere, and I thought, oh, I guess he's dead. Well, that's actually not the case. Instead, Gary Busey's apparently been charged with multiple charges of sex offense at a convention. Um, so he was at the Hey Zero Signal, how you doing? Yeah, I just thought this would be a funny thing to start off with. So Gary Busey's been charged with sexual offense crimes. Um, which number one, I didn't realize he's 78, which is impressive. But also, I was waiting to see Twitter just saying Gary Busey. I figured when you click on it, he's now dead. Um, so apparently he was. This must just happen recently because it was at a um convention about a week and a half ago. Um, so it's a little interesting to see what happened to him. Oh no, I don't want that. Why did you do that? Why did you do that? Um, see, I don't know why he was there, but okay, I guess whatever. It's Gary Busey. You can get anything you want from him. Yeah, I know, Daniel. Yeah, wow, 78. I know. That was the thing for me too. So, um, obviously the police aren't going to comment on it. They've charged him. They aren't going to comment on the case. Um, but he's not going to comment. And even if he did, his attorney's going to tell him, "Shut up, do not talk." Well, it's Gary Busey, so he probably talks anyway. Um, yeah. So Gary Busey's. I like how they talk about he was nominated for an Oscar for a role in the Buddy Holly story. I never knew that about him. I just knew he was in Lethal Weapon, and then he was kind of like a lunatic. I mean, that's pretty much what I think most people know about Gary Busey. So yeah, it's weird, but hey, it's interesting that it came out that way. Oh, and that's it for it. That's it for the story. But yeah, I thought it was interesting. Um, Imagine that guy though trying to like creep up on you and do some nasty stuff to you. That would just be oof. That would be rough. That would be really, really rough. Um, so I feel bad for whoever had to deal with him. That would just be so many levels of awkward. I mean, being a victim of a crime to Gary Busey would just be horrible. Mookie, it's like, do they sit around and think, man, my name hasn't been in the news for a while, time to change that? Yeah, yeah. I mean, it does make you wonder, for a while it was people come out with sex after Kim Kardashian did her sex tape, and then Paris Hilton did her sex tape. Like everybody had a sex tape. So yeah, now is this the new way of doing it? Is I need to go get an arrest? Maybe that might be right. ID crisis. Yeah, Gary Busey is prolific. Yeah, he was. I just love how they comment on some movie he did in 1978, not in all the movies he's done since then or things he's done since then. It's just they start with it there, because most people won't know him for that. Most people know him because he's in Lethal Weapon and because he's kind of a crazy guy. Uh, Busey's head injury took the loony to insane. Yeah, yeah, it definitely did. Um, could be a Me Too false allegation too. It could be. It could be. I just it's very interesting from a 78-year-old guy. There's so many parts of this, but Gary Busey's a crazy guy. Yes, do I think a lot of the Me Too stuff is always overblown? Not always, but a good portion of it is. We're learning more and more, especially after a bunch of them came out. The one comedian, he got Me Too'd. It turns out he was just an awkward person on a date and he didn't have good skills with women, but he ended up getting Me Too'd. So yeah, this could be nothing, but it's interesting because of who it is. Yes, Soldier with Kurt Russell, very good movie. Really good movie. I like that one a lot. Um, Jim, Gary Busey was always suspect since he wore that dress in Under Siege. Very true. Also, I'm gonna shoot you an email. I finally got Twitter. I got a new Twitter for potentially criminal that they didn't ban. So I had to lay low for a while, but I got a new Twitter handle. I'll give it to you so I can get in touch with Legal Mindset. Um, yes, Gary Busey was in Under Siege. Yes, he was. Yes, he was. Um, so Uh, we'll come back to that one for Sam Harris. But yeah, it's been a interesting day. Mark saying, "How do these guys not have any self control?" There's two sides to every story, though, so I won't believe everything till I know all the details. Um, Not that I care much. Lol. Yeah, I mean, there's always two sides to every story. He is 100% presumed innocent until proven guilty in a court of law, and until he enters a plea or is convicted, he's innocent. But I mean, who was expecting this to happen? Like Gary Busey getting in trouble for allegedly groping or touching somebody in a sexual manner. It was a surprise. And really, I saw it about 15 minutes ago. That's the only reason why I clicked on it. It's mainly because while I was getting ready with the Sam Harris stuff. Um, so we're done. It's been about 8 minutes now. I guess we can start getting into it. But yeah, Sam Harris, the quasi pseudo intellectual part of the intellectual dark web. Um, I never understood why people thought he was part of it. Like the Weinstein brothers, they're awesome to listen to. Brett's okay, but Eric, says stuff I have no idea what he's talking about sometimes. Especially when he was on Joe Rogan, he talked about like gauge symmetry, how you can map out it was like mapping out a sphere in a way you can map the entire thing, and it was just like, yeah, completely lost on it. But Sam Harris has always been really pompous to me. And no, zero signaling. He's a weirdo, but I require evidence. Um, yeah, it could be Jim. It could be somebody trying to shake him down, but we'll see. We shall see. Uh, oh, you can't stay. Well, Thanks for poking your head in. I appreciate it. Um, Haircut looks good. Thank you, Courtney. I knew he was guilty when I saw him in Black Sheep. Yeah, but he was helping his father. I think his father's like Norman Savage. He died in Iwo Jima. He's protecting his dad's dead voting. Um, But yeah, anyways, talking about Sam. Now it's 10 minutes in. Getting to Sam Harris though. Yeah, Sam Harris was on an interview. Yeah, Sam Harris. He's smart and he's educated, but what does he actually know in life? And I don't think we really know. Yeah, and I don't think he truly is willing to acknowledge that. But Sam was on with trigonometry, and well, he had something really interesting to say. Um, Peterson respects it. Yeah, he can debate well, and that's fine, but he's very disingenuous and says a lot of scummy things, especially here. And I don't know if you've seen this Dead BQ, but it's kind of um weren't his parents you're talking about Sam Harris's? Yeah, his parents were involved in production stuff in Hollywood, and his mom was a producer for the Golden Girls. Yeah, so he had some decent opportunities in life, but to argue he is not intelligent or he is not a learned person, I mean, to have the intelligence he has to do what he's done, I don't think you'd be able to do it. I mean, he might be a hack, but he still was smart enough to get all of his education done. So, um, but yeah, it's very interesting because this is from trigonometry, which they are actually interesting to listen to when you get a chance. Um, don't go listen to them now. Listen to them later. Jim, oof. Yes, it's really easy to. Yes, it's super easy to debate when you have no morals and you are a giant hypocrite. Well, we're gonna see just how giant of a hypocrite he is here, because it is very interesting. And yeah, couldn't happen to a nicer guy showing the world he's a scumbag.
I mean, Hunter Biden, at that point, Hunter Biden literally could have had the corpses of children in his basement. I would not have cared, right? It's like there's nothing. First of all, it's Hunter Biden, right? It's not Joe Biden. But even if whatever scope of Joe Biden's corruption is, like if we could just go down that rabbit hole endlessly and understand that he's getting kickbacks from Hunter Biden's deals and
So, and I get this from Sam Harris. He's trying to say, well, it doesn't matter that the president's son is doing corrupt things and getting kickbacks and giving to his dad and possibly peddling influence and corrupting his dad. Oh, that's not a big deal to him. Okay, Sam, that's a brave take.
Ukraine or wherever else, right? Or China. It is infinitesimal compared to the corruption we know Trump is involved in. It's like a firefly to the sun, right? I mean, like there's just it doesn't even stack up against Trump University.
So him scamming some people, possibly, and doing some sketchy real estate stuff is the big deal. Not, hey, we're 10% for the big guy, and we're doing all kinds of corrupt contracts and organizational things where money is just flooding around outside the world for political influence inside the United States. Yeah, that's not a big deal. Um, no, Cats, I agree he's way off. We're getting to that. We're getting to that. Um, and this is the thing, it's not about who he's the sides he's taking, it's the statements he's making, which is the really awful part here.
Right? Trump University as a story is worse than anything that could be in Hunter Biden's laptop, in my view. Right? Now, that doesn't answer the people who say it's still completely unfair to not have looked at the laptop in a timely way and to have shut down the New York Post's Twitter account. Like that's just a conspiracy. That's a left-wing conspiracy to deny the presidency to Donald Trump. Absolutely, it was. Absolutely. Right. But I think it was warranted. Right.
So the fact that there was this massive media issue and they intentionally boxed out and blacked out part of a campaign. That's not an issue to Sam. The fact they can do it and then nobody cared, which means they will do it again to someone else at some point.
Right. And again, it's a coin toss as to whether or not
Sam, I'm sorry.
that particular piece.
I'm really sorry. I was the one that said we should move on, but you've just said something I really struggle with there, which is
the kids in the basement.
No, fuck the kids in the basement. I'm interested in democracy. You're saying you are content with a left-wing conspiracy to prevent somebody being democratically re-elected as president.
Well, no, I'm content. Well, but the thing is, it's just not left wing, right? So Liz Cheney is not left wing, right? Liz Cheney is doing everything in her power.
You're content with a conspiracy to prevent somebody being democratically
elected. But there's nothing conspiracy. It's not. It was a conspiracy out in the open. But it doesn't matter if it was. It doesn't matter what part's conspiracy, what part's out in the open. I mean, I think it's like if people get together and talk about what should we do about this phenomenon. You know, if it's like if there was an asteroid hurtling toward Earth, and we got in a room together with all of our friends and had a conversation about what we could do to deflect its course, right? Is that a conspiracy? You know, like some of
that part, yes. You know, it's for Sam. Sam's okay with it because it worked out for Sam, and he liked it. You know, and the idea of, well, it's okay because whatever could be on there. There could have been a lot of really bad stuff on there, but we don't know because nobody's actually looked at it. But it's okay because it did what Sam Harris wanted, and it supported everything Sam Harris wanted. I mean, what a complete piece of fucking shit. But at least he said it. At least he's told the world he's a big piece of shit. You know, I guess good for him. Fabian Esparza. You gotta love Sam Harris is against free will, but he's got the free will to say retarded things. Pretty much. Pretty much. Yeah, completely fucking stupid by him. I just don't. Yeah, it's very interesting how he got about that. Yeah. It's just oof. Yeah, going back to this from earlier, because now we're here. I just don't understand how the obviously intelligent can be so irrational and not see the damage and danger of our esteemed fourth estate will destroy what credibility they had left. Well, that's because they think they're doing the right thing and they're doing what they want. So if you think you're doing the right thing and you think you're doing what you want and you think you're on the right side of history, are you worried about the consequences? No, because you think you're doing the right side of it. So, yeah. So, although, yeah, I want to go back to the whole Liz Cheney part, guys, because
right. Liz Cheney is doing everything in her.
Here we go.
Being democratically re-elected. It's been conspiracy to prevent somebody being democratically re-elected as president.
Well, no, I'm content. Well, but the thing is, it's just not left wing, right? So Liz Cheney is not left wing, right? Liz Cheney is doing everything in her power
to prevent somebody being democratic. I'm interested in democracy. You're saying you are content with a left-wing conspiracy to prevent somebody being democratically re-elected as president.
Well, no, I'm content. Well, but the thing is, it's just not left wing, right? So Liz Cheney is not left wing, right? Liz Cheney is doing everything in her power
to prevent somebody being democratically elected.
And I'm not sure what he was going to go down with because it didn't get fully explained. But is he saying, you know, Jim, you're bringing up here the whole Liz Cheney thing? She wasn't involved in the laptop story, no, but he's talking about Liz Cheney in the sense of a conspiracy. And, well, I mean, yes, Liz Cheney is conspiring to derail the 2024 elections with all of her stupidity. But I don't know exactly what he's getting at there because he's an idiot, and you could tell I don't think he realized how bad he's fucked up yet. Fabian, I like this. Yes, he's backtracking like his balls are on fire. I think so, but I also think he doesn't realize how bad he's fucked up at this point yet. But I do think it's interesting, especially when you go see what he, he tried to, we can explain it. I can explain this away. which I think is absolutely fucking ridiculous from him. Um, but no, he tried to come up with a response to it, and it's all this bullshit, ridiculous double speak. Um, yes, 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 that is true. Cy Trump, I know, and the idea of it's like a meteor hitting. We can conspire to talk about that. Is this really like a meteor hitting, Sam? Is this really the exact same thing? Come on. Next Sam is gonna say, like he's like Hitler, even though it's like apparently everybody before him was like Hitler. Um, yes, yes, you're right. Yes, one side might have defrauded individuals, and the other side might have corrupted U.S. foreign policy, but it's totally the same thing. Yes. Um, yes, he is a statist, and no, I don't think that part's been kind of known for a while. Um, and yes, he does believe in the philosopher kings. He does believe in the, you know, very much like Plato, where we should have the people that govern over each other. But yeah, it's really interesting how much he lets slip with his hypocrisy there. Exactly, Nero. I yes, being an intellectual does not mean you're intellectually honest. Very true. Liz Beefers Cheney. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Um, oof with chew shit. Uh, with cho shit. Um, and I guess Courtney oof, sure. Um, and you know that may be something to point out that people did make statements like that, and there was the whole nonsense about Dominion and what was going on in Venezuela. Sure, sure, sure. But to have people come out like supposedly these people who claim they're for free thought and free thinking come out and say, well, it's okay if you fuck everything up and break all your rules as long as you think the other guy's bad, because then it's okay. No, the point is what Sam Harris said just basically defeats everything he's probably ever tried or claimed to stand for or has said previously. That's the problem. That's the scummy part. I mean, yes, people may say dumb stuff, fine, but then I guess that means we're throwing Sam, well, there's other people saying dumb shit too. Isn't really the best response to calling out a guy for his really dumbass statements. But yeah, Sam's like, there's a podcast clip that seems to be confusing many people um about my views on Trump, which is understandable because I wasn't speaking very clearly. No, no, you stated it. You were willing to see whatever happened because you did not like the other guy. So for what it's worth, here's what I was trying to say. I was arguing for a principle of self-defense where there's a continuum of proportionate force that is appropriate and necessary to use. So you're saying that the ends are justifying the means, and you're trying to argue self-defense. There's a lot of libertarians who would argue you shouldn't be suffering from physical removal right now. Just saying, Sam. Um, um, I've always viewed Trump as a very dangerous president to elect as a president of a fake university. Okay. Okay, once again with the fake university stuff. Okay. Um, let alone the US when he became a sitting president who would not commit to a peaceful transfer of power. Okay. I viewed him as more dangerous still. But I've never been under any illusion he's the orange Hitler. Okay. Okay, Sam. Um, you know, and then I was speaking narrowly about the wisdom and propriety of ignoring the Hunter Biden laptop story until after the election. I've always thought this was a very hard call ethically and journalistically. Except you said it wasn't that big a deal, and then it wouldn't compare, so it didn't matter. But yet you're saying it's a hard call. Like, come on, Sam. Come on. Oh yes, we can go to that one too. We can talk about that as well. Yeah, that's very interesting from him. Um, but given what happened with the Anthony Leaner laptop in the previous election, I think it was probably the right call. But was it? You know, nothing I said in the podcast was meant to suggest that the Democrats have been right to commit election fraud or to take other illegal measures to deny the Trump presidency. But you just said you equated that to an asteroid happening, and whatever they did was okay. You literally just said that, Sam. I mean, you suck at this politician doublespeak. Come on. Awful, awful, awful. Um, so yeah, good job, Sam. Good job on that one. What a dick. What a dick. There's another one, and this is from Sam a couple years ago, which is always hilarious because he does some of his stupidity.
A belief in hell is actually very, very dangerous. And because just think about this, if I thought that my neighbor was, torturing children in his basement, right? I would call the cops immediately. And if the cops wouldn't show up, I would kick down his door myself, right? I mean, I would be highly motivated to stop him. Now,
yes, I'm sure Sam Harris is going to be kicking down a lot of doors. Yes, going. From a deontological perspective, you shouldn't be raping these kids in the asshole, sir. Yes, I'm sure you're going to be leading the charge, Sam. You're going to lead that stack.
Listen, I don't care what's in Hunter Biden's life.
Stop him. Wouldn't show up, I would kick down his door myself, right? I mean, I would be highly motivated to stop him. Now,
listen, I don't care what's in Hunter Biden's life. I mean, Hunter Biden, at that point, Hunter Biden literally could have had the corpses of children in his basement. I would not have cared, right?
A belief in hell is actually very, very dangerous. And
yeah. So I love that. Yeah. He's made multiple statements before about kids in basements, which maybe it's like a self-report, Sam. I don't know. ID crisis. You showed up on Cool Frog stream. Now I'm following you around. Blame him. Hey, thanks for coming around. I always appreciate it. Yes, there's a podcast clip that sounds like I'm a big piece of shit. I'll clear this up in a 6-tweet thread. Yes. Oh. Have I read? I don't know if you've read Robert Heinlein, but Starship Troopers history. Oh yeah, I've read Starship Troopers. I read that like in 8th grade. Didn't understand it as well as I thought I did, and then I read it in high school, and I understood it a little bit more. Read it again in college, understood it a lot more, and then I read it while I was partway through law school, and it's like God Almighty, he was like he's like Nostradamus. But yes, when he is in school, you learn about the philosopher kings causing the world to get corrupted, and there were perpetual war. Yes, it's not a bad read. It's not a bad read at all. It is a political manifesto wrapped inside of a science fiction story. A common lawyer. Yes, I was speaking naturally from the narrator. He was not. Runkle was going over the Baldwin FBI report. Quite interesting. I hadn't. I knew it had come out, but I hadn't actually seen anything from it yet. But, I mean, I knew that the biggest thing. Does it really say anything that we didn't know already? Because at this point, we already knew that he pulled the trigger. There's no way he couldn't have with a single action weapon. That they were shooting at the range, like they were out shooting with those guns using live ammunition through them routinely. They weren't following any sort of safety protocols. I mean, unless there's something new in that, I'm you know, I, I don't really know what more because a lot of it's already been aired out. I mean, a lot of it's things we already know. So yeah, it looks bad, but it's nothing new, I guess, to what we know, and that this was basically an accident waiting to happen. Oh, wait, hold on here. We can use him as a battering room. Uh sure. He has been thinking about kids in the basement for a while, huh? Yeah, I know. We should go check his basement just to make sure at this point. I'm not sure I'd want to be his neighbor. um, Artifacts. I used to like Sam Harris during my edgy atheist teen years. Well, we all get edgy. We're all edgy boys when we're teens. Uh, yeah, I mean, so hold on here though. Yes, it does. 4 live rounds were collected, including one from the bandolier and one from the holster. Wait, he had like when they propped him out, they stuffed live ammo in Alec Baldwin's like accoutrements. I mean, I knew that there was live ammo out there because they were using it, and that live ammo should have been within 10 miles of that movie set. Like, if they wanted to go shoot those guns somewhere else, there should have been like a separate place they were doing that. And even inside that movie set, because they're using blanks, you have hot and cold zones. When you're around live ammo, you have hot and cold zones too. But yes, everything was completely screwed up. But that is something I did not know. That is impressive. That he actually had a live ammo on his person. Uh Makes you wonder who put those in Alec Baldwin's thing. Just a thought. Um, um, Sam also pointed out that our telescopes have not found heaven. I'm having a faith crisis. I know. I know. That's BTFO. Christians and Jews and Muslims. BTFO. Um, the biggest bombshell is a remark in the report that they were instructed to stop the tool mark analysis on the rounds, which could have determined if they were all in the same press. Would that have been? Yeah, I get what you're saying with that because yes, the tool marks would have determined if they were all done on the same press. Still isn't an issue because there's going to probably be some sort of presumption that Hannah Reed knew the live ammunition that was rolling around on set. So even if it hadn't all been reloaded on set, the fact live rounds made it into the set, I think is still a problem. And the likelihood that Hannah Reed knew there were live rounds on set, she likely knew there were live rounds on set. I mean, there's no way she couldn't have known because it sounds like they just stuck them on the shelf together. She should have been scouring all those things and really for the sake of safety would have gotten rid of all those rounds, pulled everything just to make sure they were empty and then took care of things, but she didn't do that. So I think the bigger thing is they were instructed, not necessarily determining if the rounds came from the same place. Uh, Sam would have knocked down the doors to save the kids, except they're in Hunter Biden's basement and there's an election. Oof. Oof. Um, Baldwin will essentially blame the armor because it's her job to check it. Um, well, it is supposed to be her job. The way it should be properly done, there are movie standards and there are protocols where, like, you're handed the weapon and you're shown the ammunition that's going in it. That way, and it can be demonstrated that it's there. You don't just have a cart of guns sitting and saying, "I've checked them, they're safe," and then you leave the guns unattended for however long. That's not how that works. It's not how it should work. Because you also don't want the actors dicking around with the guns because that's just going to be an accident for something to happen. So they watch you load it, you put it in. I mean, think about it like a firing squad. People in the firing squad don't get to inspect their weapons. You were given a weapon and it's loaded and given to you. Except in this case, Alec Baldwin was a one-man firing squad. I'd say it's Alec himself. If he had live ammo on his person, yeah, I'm starting to think that might be the case. Oof. Yeah. Zero signals. What's with all the live ammo reportedly on that set? Because they're idiots. Because these are not gun people. They think it's okay, and they think they're smart. They think they're smarter than everybody else. Oh, that we won't break the rules. We're too smart for that. Well, that's the problem. That's what happened. We can store all this stuff here because we're smart. We're not a bunch of dumb rednecks. We're smart Hollywood film people. There's that. There's also the idea that they were running this on a shoestring budget. They were cutting corners wherever they could. There's a lot of factors here. But yeah, they were taking those same guns out and shooting them out somewhere outside the ranch to fuck around with when they clearly shouldn't have never have done that. But once again, that's stupid people playing with guns. Yeah, they probably all got supplied from the same place. I don't think that's an issue either. It's the fact that they ordered the live rounds and then they kept the live rounds anywhere near that set is the problem. Once again, that falls onto her. How do I feel about? I still don't think they have an actionable case against Alex Jones, and hopefully an appeals court sorts that out. But people have sued for everything throughout history. I mean, there's been all kinds of goofy lawsuits. So, people like to think it's a thing of the '90s and from today, but it's been going on forever. I'm just here for the Soviet cat bingo. We'll get to that in a second. She's blaming the prop house, which built the dummy rounds, for slipping live rounds in with them. Okay, fine, but you still shouldn't be checking those. It's on her to check all that shit. And she's going to have a tough time. I don't think anybody's getting charged, though. I think I said this before when the prosecutor did their big document dump. I just don't see anybody getting charged. So, I mean, they may escape man's justice, but, you won't escape God's justice. You can't be mad when someone not there doesn't do a thing there. Well, that's where she should have stood up and said, "No, this is safety. You can't skimp on this," and should have said, "I'll walk off the set," instead of, "Okay, fine. Here's a cart of guns," and walked away. I mean, she knew what she needed to do, and she didn't do it. Yeah, that's true. It bypassed the armor, but it's because once again, it's also cost cutting and trying to, COVID. So it was dumb. It was dumb. They were all Starline brass, the dummies, and the blanks and the live. If they have the same tool marks, they all came from the prop house. It's on the prop house. Jim, I disagree with you, okay? Because at that point, if you're the armorer, you wouldn't take a gun from somebody and say, "Oh, hey, here's this gun. It must be good." No, all that ammunition should be inspected. I mean, that is on her to inspect all that ammunition to make sure it's okay. And really, at the end of the day, you don't need that many fake rounds for a movie because it's not like you're actually using them. So you only need a couple for each weapon. So it's not like she was being told she had to examine like a crate of 1,000 rounds of ammunition. She could have taken up each one and like ding, 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 ding. Oh, I can hear the BB inside of it. You know, she can check them. It's not that hard. Um, and then also the idea that if she was shooting live ammo and knew they were shooting live ammo and she was doing it herself, then she knows there's live ammo in the mix. She should always like even more so she should be checking. So I think it ultimately stops with her because if you were given a box ammo and told they're all blanks and you're going to play with them or dummy rounds, wow, these look like the real deal. Can we be sure they're not? You know, okay, well, you could shake it and verify it. It's like, I don't hear anything. That's not good. Um, hey, Tubbs. The main takeaway is don't shoot Baldwin. He'll shoot his bat. He'll shoot back. Oof. Oof, oof, oof. Uh, Baldwin loaded the faulty dummy around himself to see if he could get away with murdering using his acting skills, garnering sympathy from the media he's biased on. If he were to really do this, and I think I mentioned this before, if he really did commit this murder and this is what he did, I mean, he is the smartest man alive, and I take back every bad thing I've ever said about him because that is a brilliant murder if he actually did this. If he did it, like I said, you know, bravo, bravo, good sir. Oh, Sean, Team Skeptic sent me. Cool. Glad you guys came over. Glad you came over. Um, a California Dreamer. All you guys, thanks for coming by. Yeah, I appreciate that. Hannah's denying ever shooting on set. Well, if they were taking the guns and using them, then she's gonna have to say I let all the equipment, as the armor, let the weapons leave my sight, and that's already like you're breaking armor rules. So, yeah, she ain't good. So, she ain't good. Yeah, and that's the thing. Yeah, yeah, the gun always worked. The gun always worked. So, and that was a funny thing there. Madeline Tutton. LOL, God's justice, and boo this man. Well, hey, he's gonna have to answer for it at some point, even if he doesn't get prosecuted for it. So, yeah, they had a couple hundred rounds and bandoliers and gun belts. I know, but I can't imagine the need for all of it like that. It's just easier than shoving in and taking the same handful and reloading them into different belts and stuff. But it's not something she couldn't have checked herself, though. I mean, remember, she could have done that. Damn, you guys are just like cruising down here. So, either way, she ended up working at Arby's. Um, yeah, Boomer, that's correct. Brandon Lee was a very weird case because they were playing with a gun that had an obstruction in the barrel and they thought it was plugged, and that was a whole nother issue. But once again, it takes injuries and people dying for rules and standards to develop. So, yeah. Yeah, her daddy's in the industry and she'll be fine. I know, but if I'm an actor and I'm on the sets, like I don't want to be near her, and I'm not sure she'll be able to be insured. Because she's clearly been negligent. So she might not have a job. I mean, those movies are insured. They have people involved in it. They approve who's doing what, and she really screwed that up. So, um, yeah, yeah. Turkey and Meyer, America's Untold Stories, with Mark Gruber and Eric Hunley. That's actually a channel, you guys. They are really good. They did a whole series on all this stuff as it was coming out. Very good to follow. A lot of information in there. So, um, really, really take a look at it. Uh, Brandon Lee had information on Hillary Clinton. Um, is plugged like pegged. No. Think about like somebody shot a gun with a squib round in it. It was a revolver and it had squib round. So the bullet, everything went bang. Then the bullet wasn't enough powder, went down the barrel and stopped. If you guys aren't familiar with guns, if you have a bullet that gets lodged in the barrel of your firearm, it just doesn't fall out on its own. It's wedged into the rifling. So you have to. It's not quick work, but you can get the bullet back out. Um, Whoever had that gun sold it off as a bullet, as a gun with the bullet lodged in the barrel, and for whatever reason, it passed along through people to a prop master who was told, "Oh, well, it's plugged," meaning there's actually something welded into the barrel. The barrel's permanently obstructed. So if you were to look up inside of it, you'd see like this, it'd just be dark in the middle. So they thought that was the case, and it turns out it was just the bullet. Well, they used a blank, and the blank was powerful enough to send the bullet out. So that's the story of Brandon Lee. Wasn't exactly the same thing, but once again, it was kind of an issue of nobody actually checked to make sure that gun was certified and done to standards to make sure it wasn't operable. Uh the stunt guy killed Brandon Lee because of all the dead kids in his basement. I know. Yeah. Sam Harris was involved in that too. Um, she hasn't been charged though, has she? You're talking about Hannah Reid. Unless the insurer can just deny her because they woke up on the wrong side of the. Yes, they can. They are a private company. They can deny her. Even if she doesn't get charged, they have clear evidence she's basically a fucking moron. So if they know that about her, because she's admitted she's done these things and the things she was in charge of, at some point she's responsible for. So the insurance company can say, we're not covering you because you are dangerous. You don't follow the rules. You clearly didn't follow the standards already. We're not going to risk it. That is well within their bounds. They're not a governmental entity. They can make decisions based upon your own statements and based upon their own investigations, because the insurance companies did their own investigations of this too. So that's going to be known. And there's she doesn't have to be charged. And yes, the insurance company could just say, screw it, we're not insuring you. Why? Because as long as it's not a discriminatory reason protected under federal law, they're going to be okay, and she can't do a damn thing about it. So actually could happen that way. So you're telling me Brandon Lee was pegged to death? Oof. Yeah, M2, you can use a squib rod, but generally speaking, though, I mean, sometimes for whatever reason, that person sold the gun off as obstructed. So I don't know. Back in the day, guns were super cheap. So who knows? Rest in peace, Brandon. Death by pegging. Any reloader who's never had a squib is probably lying. I know. I've had them too. I've also reloaded a shotgun round before. When I did it just kind of went like bleh, right out the barrel after it shot. He would never have walked right again if he had survived. Jeez, you guys. Oof. That's not what happened with Brandon Lee. It was a dummy round that had a live primer, which pushed it in the barrel. Then they fired the next round, which was a blank. Okay. I will leave it at something happened, and it was just poor poor issues caused it, and a lot of things happened that caused it to happen there. Eric Duff test, yes. Death by Snoo Snoo. I was Jim. You're correct, but Sean was close enough. That's what matters. Got to be close enough. Oh, there's one other thing I want to talk about real quick before we got too far. I'm sure you guys remember this guy from a couple weeks ago, where
It's valid. All right. I don't even. You're not the registered owner. You're not the why? Let me ask you something. Why are you driving then? You're not driving to work. You're driving to the park. Life. Calm down. I have a life. All right. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. I have hobbies. I have people I like to see. Okay. Well, other people have to register a vehicle. Why makes you different than anybody else? Why? Why are you special and everybody else has to obey rules? Can you tell me that? It's not about the rules.
So that guy, I'm sure if you remember him from a couple weeks ago, having his temper tantrum, and then later on, when he's getting arrested, runs up to while he's handcuffed. Where does it happen at?
I'm glad.
Yeah, here we go.
You're fortunate.
Throws himself up against the police car and scuffs it up.
Holy cow.
Yeah, as you can see, he does all that beautiful damage down in the corner right there. All that beautiful damage. He was going to let go. They were going to tell him, get a ride home. We'll even take you home before he has temper tantrum. Well, he ended up going to court. And, as much as you probably like to see him get in trouble, here's what happened so far. So it was over here in Bedford, Ohio, at the municipal court. The guy's name's Addison Tish. Addison's a great name. He was initially charged with felony vandalism of government property. So you find that there's a finding of dismissed right here. Oh, did it not click over? Oh, I got to share to the next page, don't I? Remember this dickhead that the judge go easy on him? Well, what happened to him was when you click on this, it'll take you to his next issue, which was here, which then became felony vandalism of government property. So he had a couple of court dates coming up. As you can see, the last one here was July 25th. He had the finding of dismissed, which didn't get off that easy, because if you go back, we can find out he actually had another charge that he got in trouble for. Why is this thing not fucking cooperating with me? There we go. Oh, shoot. Hayden, how are you doing? Yeah, hold on here one second. Where is my... There. Just sent you something on Discord if you're interested. No worries if you're going to run away. No worries if you don't want to. So, yes, brave little Addison was charged with criminal damaging, which is a misdemeanor also. So, yes, the last date for this was, and look, he entered a plea of no contest. He was found guilty. So, as you can see, he entered a plea of no contest. There was a finding of guilty. So, yes, he ended up doing that. Entered a plea of no contest. He had a payment plan for this. Obviously, he had a written motion for attorney's fees because he can't afford his own attorney. So imagine that. Yes. Good job on his part. So yes, he is. That's done. That's what's happened to him. I didn't get the information in time from the court yesterday before they closed down, but yes, he did owe. He's gonna have to do restitution there. Um, yes, I remember him. They were gonna let him go, and it was dumb. Uh, Eric, this could have been avoided with a simple "I borrowed the car." They already knew this car wasn't valid, though. That's the problem. They already knew it wasn't valid. They knew he wasn't valid, so it didn't matter. Um, yeah, I worked in collision. That's a few $1,000s, and it was. He ended up. He's got to do $2,000. Um, did he pitch a fit in court? Not from what I heard. I didn't go to that court. I haven't been out there in a while, but I heard from some people the guy went there and he didn't cause any problems. He took it. He acted like an adult. Um, I'd like to see him get some mental health. He just needs to grow up. That's a guy's problem. So I know. I just thought I'd tell you guys there was some resolution to it. Yeah, he needs to go to the jail. That would be horrible for that guy. I'm sure he would. That would be awful. I'm sure that that would be so bad. That would be so bad. I wouldn't want that to happen to him. He'd be screaming in there too, screaming at the guys trying to take his butt. I mean, you couldn't do that. That wouldn't be good. Oh, and I forgot to mention they do show his restitution amount. Here, this is for one of the other things he got charged with that day. He entered a plea and he has to pay $2,225. So he paid that up that morning, which I'm sure his attorney told him, you need to get this together. You're going to jail. So he probably called his mommy and probably got his money together. So yeah, he paid up. He paid up. So I'm sure he screamed and cried about not having a life. And all the police were so unfair to him. It was so mean. Um, you got to wonder if he learned the lessons he needed to, like being an adult. I don't think he did. I don't think he did at this point. Sometimes I judge people like this, but then realize I shouldn't as there are mental health issues. There could be, but I mean, really, for this guy, the biggest thing is he needs to grow up. And you could still grow up and have, you could still be immature and have mental health issues. So I just, this guy just, it smacks of immaturity. Sent him to the monkeypox prison. The guy in for murder says, "What are you in for?" And yes, he hip checked a car. Just put him in torture cuffs. Yes, I have hobbies. You are all sheep that love your captors. I don't love the police, but a guy throwing a temper tantrum like that isn't going to be somebody. He ain't some brave guy fighting the system here. So we will see Addison again. Knock on wood. Knock on wood. From your lips, God's ears. We will at some point. Um, all right. Well, I guess we're gonna move on. I have hobbies. I have a level 70 wood elf male, and wow, isn't I thought I heard like World of Warcraft got shut down, like they started closing down servers. Is that true? Unless you're just joking, I don't know. Um, so, oh, you just got here so I had to say something. Oh, that's fine. Oh fuck, where did it go? Fuck. I just clicked out of all the videos I had lined up. damn it. No, the consolidated servers, but it is not shut down. Oh, okay. Yeah, I just thought I heard something like they were like done. So um your husband works for Blizzard. Cool. Cool. Yeah. Well, I was having trouble ever since they found the Jeez. Oof. Oof. Control Shift T. No, I accidentally clicked out of the entire screen. Now I gotta like the whole window I had set up. I gotta bring them back up now. So that was where I boomered this out. Hold on. Like a complete idiot. Oh, actually, it might be in the YouTube history. Well, I shouldn't be too worried about it. We're gonna get through some dead air here. Carlton. That's funny. Um, where is it? Where's the one? All right. I kind of fixed this a little bit. Kind of fixed this. We ran out of Cheetos. Ooh, that's got to be horrible. Alt F4. Okay, I'm not that big of a boomer noob. I'll try that one. Oh. Let's see here. My uncle worked for Nintendo. Cool. Well, I was actually where I chat my international arms dealer buddies. Jeez. Okay. Oh, that's awesome. Oh, your browser will bring up a whole window if you close it. Oh. Yeah, I just thought it brings up the tabs, so I didn't try that. I have a couple windows up right now too at the same time. Chat tech support, here we go. Yes. Think outside the mouse. Oh. Drew, how you doing? Delete system 32. Yeah, why don't I go do that? Why hold on. Yeah, let's share window. Hold on. Yeah, why don't we just open up a window here? Just go right into it. We're not doing that. No mods. No, there's a mod here. There's one. There's one on right now. Jim's here, and then yes, there are. I have an army of sex bots that have moderator powers. So just watch yourself. Be very careful. If I try turning it off and on, that'd be a little awkward for running the stream. So no, I don't think I should turn it off and on. No, you can say poop here. You can say poop here. Hold on one second, guys. I'm gonna. Sorry about that. Had a sniffles attack. It's so hilarious to me that bots have wrenches. I know that, but see, I'm a forward thinker like that. I'm a visionary, kind of like Musk, kind of like Tesla. Tesla thought we'd have like little things we carry in our shirt pockets that tell us the world. Well, I think the bot should have wrenches. You know, some like AI stuff, kind of like Proto Matrix. Yes, a little sniffles. Is that the I had to fart avatar? No, it's just when you shut off your camera, you could do this. So if I'm, like in a group, if I'm with other people, I can just have this up. If I want to turn the screen off, I can talk through it. Otherwise, if you don't, there's just a screen here with kind of like a outline head and like shoulders thing going on. Ruckle kicked out the sex bots. He wasn't going to ruin my life, so here I am. Yeah, it will spring when they take over. No, Jim, you're fine. Some of you were just saying like there's no mods here. I was like, well, there is a mod, but no, here the mods aren't too bad. So what the heck? Oh, holy cow, Bren. Thank you very much. Bren just gifted 10 people memberships. Holy cow, thank you very much. Thank you to whoever gets one. I'm sure they'll say thank you instead. Oh, apparently I can receive the gift memberships too. That would be really awkward. Sub. Thank you. I appreciate it, Justin. Oh, Queen Bee, you're here from Skeptic too. Thanks for stopping by. EDB has crazy strict mods. Who the hell's ED? Oh, yeah, Emily. Yeah. Well, Emily runs a little bit different of a setup. So I understand she's got her issues, not really issues, but she's got her rules and things she has to worry about. There's a particular way she does things and wants to comport a certain image. So nothing against her for that. She's allowed to run that ship the way she does it. And Emily's done it well enough that that's her job. So I can't really say she's doing it wrong because she's able to make a living off of it. So, hold on here, guys. I got an email from an attorney I didn't mention. Oh. Yeah, like I said, Emily's got her rules and the way she does stuff, and hey, that's always up to her. Also, I know we were here last week. We were talking about those the guys from Australia who do the long range crazy shooting. I thought it'd be interesting to show them again because they did usually for a date, Jacob. Jeez. You guys are ridiculous. My grandma's proud of me. Well, if you're talking to my grandma, that's pretty epic. Because she's no longer with us. So if you can communicate with the dead, you're like got some John Edwards stuff going on. Well, anyways, I just saw these. I actually, because after I showed you guys that one thing, I thought it was just really cool because these guys are shooting. Now makes me want to go try to buy one of these. Is a Seiko TRG 42 and 38 Lapua Magnum. So he just looks pretty gnarly. It's just the shots, the range
ready?
guys are shooting is also crazy too. Yeah, that's only 1,000 yards, so that's like baby shooting compared to what these guys were doing last week. That 338 is just sexy.
Low, 6 o'clock, 1 1/4 targets low. Nice and central.
Okay. Okay, well. Let's just put one on plate.
Okay.
He's running mild pressure and go a little bit further, but 1,080.
Dong. Look at it, just hits it like a
Bottom right
sledgehammer.
corner.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a nice sound.
Is that a Japanese company? No.
91.
Sako is out of Finland. Sako. Dong.
Middle bottom.
If you guys have never been able to shoot at long range before, shooting,
79.
if you guys have never done this before, shooting at steel targets at any range is always neat when you can shoot and hear the clang afterwards.
Bottom right.
Back on top of that other one.
Yep.
We'll just do 5-8.
Okay, mate.
See what they look like.
Yep. Top right, the chain came off the top right, but I think it hit on the bottom right corner.
Right next to the other one. So why the hell broke the chain off?
Yeah.
They're hitting pretty
Yeah, when I
hard.
watched
They
the
are.
first time, I thought he shot the bolt
They are
off,
hitting
but
hard.
no, he just shot the bottom and it came loose.
And it's bogged in the mud now.
Okay, well, let's just see if I can put one in the center,
Okay.
knock it off.
Oh, no. Backwards.
There we go.
Okay. Oh, well. I've got 3 more of these to shoot.
Okay.
But yes, anyways, I thought those guys were interesting and they got some. I hadn't seen one of those Sakos yet, and they are sexy. So, yes, that the glass on top of that rifle alone is very, very expensive. Market Sam are real good. An Australian yard is just under 7 inches in America. No, I did not know that. So it's not that far. If Hayden was here, he could tell us about that. We can verify if that's correct. Eric, yes, they're from Australia. Uh-oh. Who's texting me right now? Guys, hold on 1 second. Something's come up. I need to check out really quick going on in the real world. Give me 1 second. I'll be right back. All right, we're back. Sorry, took care of that. All right. Oh, Michelle, how far were they shooting? They were shooting about 1,000 yards, 1,100 yards. So, like, it's like 3,400 feet. So 3,400 feet, over a half mile. So, yeah, sorry guys, I had to take care of that. There was something went on and took care of it. All set, no big deal. Yeah, it was roughly 1,145 yards. Yeah, that's the thing. Emily Baker has 600,000 subscribers, and I'm like covering around 10,000. So, yeah. Yeah, I know they're doing really good for shooting upside down and in the future. Kathy, I can only shoot handguns doing a spinal fusion. You can't hold a rifle. No, but you could put one like in a cradle, and you can kind of steer it from there. Or if you put one on a tripod, you could probably use it. Yeah, Drew, but I think that was a brand new rifle for them, so that's a reasonable range. No, I didn't get a call. I got a text that saying something was going on outside, so I had to go check it out. We're not real. I mean, not really. No, it was not a client call. No, I did not get I did not get swatted. Potentially that was an issue for a second, but then it looks like it's just the fire department's at my neighbor's house. So more like retained. Detained. Jeez. Oh. Look at the squatty potty. Oh. Never trust a fart. Yeah, well, you don't have to, but yes, I've been free to go. I've been free to go. I'm all free now. Who's asking? Lloyd Matar, have I followed the Moore trial out of Ohio? Yes, I have. I've been following along with it. I actually know an attorney who practices down, and it's just outside of Columbus. I know an attorney down there who knows a lot about the case and has kind of been in and out of the courtroom. He gave me updates this week, but no, I did not have time to follow it this week. I had a lot going on. I actually spent all Tuesday in a trial, so no, that last week so far was completely shot. Starting on Monday, though, the Marcus Wilson trial down in Georgia is going to go, and that's on Law and Cuck. So, as much as I hate to say, we'll be watching them and watching his trial go on because that one's going to be interesting how he can prove self defense because it sounds like he's going to have a really tough time. But don't blame him considering it's Georgia and like every murder in Georgia is a life sentence. He should have a chat. He definitely should try because they weren't really cutting him any good deals prior. I hope my neighbor's okay. I think so. I mean, I don't know for sure what's going on, but it's only red lights, so I'm not worried right this second. Like if his house is like on fire, yeah, I'd be out there talking to him right now, make sure they're okay. But I don't see anything indicating that. So here I am. Never trust. I trust a fart more than a binger. You need to do more some streams like that with the one where it was all of us versus Joe. Yeah, I'll have to talk to Joe about that, but that's that was really Joe's idea. That one's entirely on Joe, so I'll talk to him about that. Maybe there's more we can do. No, they did not create Joinder with me. Mark, you have a good one. Take care. So, no, they're not elderly. They're like, maybe in their 50s. So, I don't know. Maybe the oven got out of control or something happened. I'm not sure. I'll probably check in on them tomorrow. Prince, are you in Canada? He might have tested positive for COOF. No, I'm not in Canada. I'm in Ohio, so I don't have to worry about that. Oh. But anyways, we can get on to the fun stuff now. Not like getting into the fun stuff I talked about getting into it in an hour and a half after we start, but yeah, here we are. So, yeah, hold on. The Ninth Circuit pretty much refused to follow the Bruin decision. No, that's not at all what happened. And Jim, Jim is right. It was an en banc, and they remanded it instead of ruling it. So a lot of cases have been sent back to get remanded for the new ruling. Bruin itself just made it back to the Second Circuit this week, and the Second Circuit now has said, "Okay, District Court, make your decision based upon the Bruin ruling from the Supreme Court." So it's going to take a while, and courts are generally going to kick it back down and make the court fix its decision according to this new opinion. They would rather do that than have to get involved and say, look, you're wrong. Now, if they don't do it right and it comes back up again, then yes, they'll rule accordingly. Hold on, Mark. Mark, how are you doing? Haven't seen you around a little bit. I can't wait for Skeptic much longer. He's in love with everyone mode. So I'm going Pathfinder mode and declare. Well, thanks. I just say, I hope he's still not going. I can't say, like, he's been going forever then. Holy cow, he is still going? Jeez. Wow, he still is going. Holy cow. Sitting there pooping on chili. So did you see that Kelly's trying to claim that ammo's not covered by the Second Amendment? I saw that argument. It's desperation. It is desperation. They're trying to use all the edgy boy arguments. Well, it didn't say it covered that or this. It just reeks of desperation. So, yeah. A-Dubs is want to be in Ohio. Let me see here. No, it's not in Ohio. I don't know where it's at. So.
Driver claims that this meth pipe that was right where his hand was when I told him to show me his hands, he claims that he found that in his car.
Here we go. Yeah. I think it's in California.
Hello. Good. How about yourself? I'm Officer McComb, Cedar Valley Police Department. I'll let you know I have my audio video recorder on. Reason why I stopped you was a couple things.
Oh, Lady Poe, that's a pretty cool birthday present. Hope you have fun with it. That's pretty neat.
First off, you got a headlight that's not working over here on your driver's side, and then your registration expired a couple of months ago.
What do you mean?
Your license tabs?
Oh, yeah, I know that.
Yeah.
I'm working on that stuff.
That's all right. Do you have your license, registration, insurance with you today?
My license, I don't have. I leave my name.
Okay. Do you have a current license in Washington State, or are you suspended or something?
No, I'm not suspended.
Okay. Any reason why you don't have your license with you?
Yeah, that did at Fred Myers.
You left it where?
At Fred Myers.
Oh, okay. What's your name?
Maurice Jackson.
M-A-U-R-I-C-E.
Yes. Yes.
Middle initial Maurice?
Don't have one.
And your birth date. What's that? Okay. Anything to drink tonight? Any drugs at all?
No.
Okay. What's a good contact number for you? And mailing address. In Mount Vernon?
Yes.
All right. Are you, any recent tickets for anything?
Probably a speeding ticket and a changing lane.
Okay. Do you have your registration, proof of insurance, or anything like that with you?
It's in the trunk, and the insurance thing is
It's in the trunk? It's where?
in the trunk.
It's all in the trunk?
Oh, no. My insurance thing.
The license and registration in the trunk. That's brilliant.
It's in the trunk.
Okay. Are you able to like check the glove box or anything? See if you got your current insurance with you? What's the deal with all these folks? Are they okay? She looks like she's on the nod. She's just sleeping? She's got a torch lighter in her hand. Right next to it anyway. Can you roll down this window for me, please? Thank you. A little bit further so I can see. Miss, roll it down all the way, please. All the way. Thank you. Miss. Miss, you alright? Hey, it's the police department. You alright? Okay, you look like you were on the nod. You're just sleeping? Alright. Anyone in the car have
Okay, you're wondering what city, Jacob? It's Cedro Woolley, Washington. So, yes, but having somebody looks like they're overdosing and nodding off or something in the back of your car is a great way to have the police investigate further.
have warrants? No? All right. And you said that you have a clear driver's license out of Washington? Okay. All right. Sid. Well, what's that? Not necessarily. People buy cars without licenses all the time. But anyway, stay put for me. I'll be back.
We're going to skip it until he actually comes back to the car because I don't care about him doing work.
Maurice, can I get you to step out of the car and hop up on the...
Hold on. So, it's in, so Kathy, you're saying you live near Spokane. It's in Skagit County. So it's, looks like it's north of Seattle. He taps, flickering the eyeball to give her sign of response. Oof. That would be rough.
On the sidewalk with me, please? I don't have to have a reason. I'm telling you to do it. It's all being audio and video recorded. What's that? It's not a violation of his civil liberties. Pennsylvania versus Mims with... Oh, stop! Get your hands out of that. I saw the needles. Yes, I saw needles in there. So, Maurice, you step out of the car right now. Neither of you reach for anything.
Excuse me, I've got my cell phone to record this for my safety.
Yeah, if you're going to try to play the big game of like, I'm going to be a sovereign citizen here, you better not flash out your contraband in the meantime. or start reaching for things.
And call 911
So
myself.
you step out of the car right now. Do it now.
Hey, come look. 'Cause I'm grabbing my phone.
You're not grabbing anything.
Absolutely.
Do
I am.
not reach for anything.
See this phone? See the cord? Absolutely, I'm doing this for my safety, officer.
George, 13 casket status 3. No, step out of the vehicle. Pennsylvania v. Mims, which is Supreme Court case law, says that I have the right to ask.
Until your supervisor comes here, because right now what he's doing is he's threatening us.
I'm not threatening anyone. I'm telling you to step out of the car.
What was the reason you grabbed him and step out of the car to begin with, sir?
I don't have to have a reason. No, I do not.
This is not his.
Stop talking! I am not talking to you. I am done talking to you. Maurice, step out of the vehicle right now.
For what reason?
I told you I don't have to have a reason.
Absolutely you do.
I am not talking to you. Be quiet.
Sir,
Step.
stop raising your voice at me. Am I raising
Maurice, get out of the car.
This is being recorded for my safety as well as his, sir.
Step out of the vehicle.
Stabby. She was nodding off because yeah, she just had poor blood sugar and they were just trying to give her some insulin. I know. These guys were trying to be medical, like Doctors Without Borders, Crackheads Without Borders. They were just trying to help this poor woman. And then the cops got in the way. That poking someone in the nuts with a rifle barrel, flick them in the eye. It's how we were taught to check for dead during the great opium and oil wars. Yes, it does work. Or you can kick them in the balls, yeah.
Maurice, out of the vehicle.
Let's go. This is not.
Damn, I just boomered it. More importantly, why isn't the door to his car locked? I mean, I just don't want the cops running up to you and like clicking it open like that.
Stop talking! I am not talking to you. I am done talking to you. Maurice, step out of the vehicle right now.
For what reason?
I told you I don't have to have a reason.
Absolutely you do.
I am not talking to you. Be quiet!
Sir,
Step.
stop raising your voice at me. Am I raising?
Maurice, get out of the car.
This is being recorded for my safety as well as his, sir.
Step out of the vehicle. Maurice, out of the vehicle.
Let's go. Come on. Relax.
Wow.
Okay.
Don't reach for anything.
Ooh.
Just step out of the car.
Those cops are being very chill because that, ooh. Man, he must be high as a kite if he's reaching for his ankle like that in a car in front of the cops. Like, woof. That is scary. Brave man.
No. Step out of the vehicle. So the passenger has a bag full of needles on the floor. Maurice, hands, and show me your hands and step out of the vehicle. Do not reach for things. Okay, walk to the sidewalk. Don't pick up the lighter. Walk to the side. Okay, so when I see a meth pipe and a knife right there, this is what's concerning to me.
Well, it's just a knife, dude.
A meth pipe and a knife right there, right where you were reaching.
How am I not listening? I don't know what to do, and somebody's telling me two different things.
Let's calm down.
I'm not upset. I'm just why?
You're not listening.
How am I not listening? I'm listening to everything that's good.
Face that way. Okay. Spread your feet.
Oh, dude's yelling at me over and over
Then you
again.
should listen to what he says.
So passenger, I'm going to be removing you from the vehicle
You
next.
guys have the right to do what, sir? To walk away, correct?
Nope. Right now you're being detained.
Sir, I'm being detained for what?
You're being detained for possession of drug paraphernalia.
Paraphernalia, drug paraphernalia, what? What, sir?
No, he is right. He would have the right to get up and walk away from a traffic stop until he's suspected of committing a crime himself.
Needles.
What drug paraphernalia?
Needles in the meth pipe that's right next to you as well.
Oh, by me. Oh, let's see this. Right up here by me.
So you're detained. You're going to step out of the vehicle to the passenger side. You're being given a lawful order to get out of the car. Do it now.
I understand that, but I do have rights. I do have rights. I am not operating. I have not done anything wrong. This gentleman here is falsely accusing me. Please do not touch me.
You're going to get pepper sprayed.
Get out of the car right now. Get out of the car right now. Listen to me.
Moses, my car is unlocked. Stick him in the back of my car, please.
Check him or anything?
Get out of the car.
He's in handcuffs.
Now. I am the supervisor. Get out of the car right now.
I was told not to touch me.
I am the
Get out of
supervisor.
car right now.
I am the manager, sir.
Unbuckle yourself.
So you're telling me to remove myself out of a vehicle that I'm freely in?
Austin, unbuckle.
Yeah.
Please? I'm stepping out. Please
Get
don't.
out of the car.
Please don't. I will step.
Face down on the ground right now.
Please don't. Stop. Let me get out.
Get on the ground.
Somebody call 911. Okay. Help! Record this.
This is being recorded.
Everything is being audio and video recorded.
Help! Help! I've been holding on to it. Goddamn, dude, my shoulder.
Should have listened.
I mean, wow, he is squealing like a stuck pig. Help! You're kidnapping me.
In your pocket.
You were given multiple opportunities to cooperate and behave yourself. And
Oh my God, my foot is so hard.
Roll on your side.
Well, he's crying a lot.
Oh, my foot, dude, it's my shoulder.
Get up.
Oh. Please don't grab on that arm.
Stand up. How would you like me to pick you up?
13 we
I
have.
know,
two
Kathy.
detained.
It's those torture cuffs. Torture cuffs.
Okay. Stand up.
Also, you know, Chili likes to talk about this a lot. He knew he was being recorded, yet he still didn't comply. So I wonder how that works.
Ow! Fuck, man, my arm. Fucking
Walk.
oh. I've done nothing fucking wrong.
Get now.
The fuck I have. Ow! Fuck!
So, yeah, I always thought that was hilarious. Great job. You know, he only gets like 2 minutes in before the cop
Miss,
just
go ahead and hop out of
immediately
the car for me, okay?
stops him.
What's going on?
I just told you to step out of the car.
I
know.
woke up from my drug-induced haze. Oh no!
Oh my God.
Whoa!
Just set that stuff down in the car, okay?
Can I have this?
You can eat that while we're talking. But I don't want you to reach for anything else.
There's a bag of needles right there.
Well, I know. I
Brittle
know. I
bones from
saw
all
it.
the drugs.
I'm going to pat you down, okay? What I want you to do is face that way. You have any needles or weapons on you at all? I can't hear you. You don't know what?
I don't think so, no.
Okay.
You don't think you have needles on you? I love that.
Okay.
What happened?
What's your name?
Ashley.
Ashley what?
York.
York?
Yeah.
I was just getting really high, man, and this guy ruined it.
So, when I walked
The
up,
heck?
you know, you looked like you were on the nod.
I was sleeping.
You were sleeping? Okay.
Yeah. I was sleeping because I took a lot of
So,
drugs.
I told Maurice to get out of the car after I saw your buddy with the needles in that black bag. So, Ashley, what's your middle initial? What's that?
Yeah.
E? Okay. And your birthday? Okay.
I don't even know where we're at.
You don't know where you're at right now?
No, I honestly.
Do you know where you were coming from?
I was like picking up in Mount Vernon.
Okay. Who's they?
Maurice.
How do you know Maurice?
I just met him.
Just met him?
Well, when he picked me up.
How about the other guy?
I was with him for a little while.
How long's a little while? Days, months, weeks, seconds?
Weeks.
Weeks? What's his name?
No, I've known him for. Shit.
Where are your teeth?
What's his name?
Rich Coleman?
Rich what?
Coleman? I don't want to get in trouble for giving his name. I know.
You don't get in trouble for giving his name. You get in trouble for not cooperating.
So,
What's his name?
what's his name? Sorry.
Coleman.
Coleman?
As far as I know, I don't know for sure.
Yeah, it's just really good. Her reactions are great. She's like, "Am I going to jail? I just woke up."
Okay. So, what drugs in the car are yours and what are other people's?
What do you mean? They're mine. I don't have.
You don't have any?
No, I have the needles. I had the fucking bag of needles because they were given to me.
Who gave you those needles?
A friend of mine somewhere else.
Why did you take needles?
They were cleans, and I
Are you
got
diabetic
friends.
if you inject heroin?
This is where you stop and don't answer questions. You're allowed to possess a needle. That's I have medical need for it. Just shut up. Don't talk. So we're gonna skip. He goes back and talks to our brilliant Rhodes Scholar who wanted to argue.
Do you understand each of these rights I have just explained to you? These rights are one.
Oh, he's gonna
to
read
talk,
his
right?
Miranda
Do you
warning.
understand these rights that you can decide if you accord arrest? You're just being detained, but I'm going to.
Here we go.
You're not under arrest. You're just being detained, but I'm going to read you your rights anyway. Okay?
Can I say something real quick before we do
Well,
all
everybody
this?
came by from
I
Team
need to read you
Skeptic.
your
Thanks
rights,
for coming by. Hello.
You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can be used against you in a court of law. You have the right at this time to talk to a lawyer and have him present with you while you are being questioned. If you cannot afford to hire a lawyer, one will be appointed to represent you before.
Don't you learn this shit when you're in the police academy so you don't have to read it off a card? But
questioning if you wish. You can decide at any time to exercise these rights and not answer any questions or make any statements. Do you understand each of these rights I've explained to you?
I think so.
What you say you think so? Is it a yes or a no?
I think so because I thought what just happened was wrong, but
And you are, so do you understand these rights that I just read to you? I'll read them to you again, okay? You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can be used against you in a court of law. You have the right at this time to talk to a lawyer and have him present with you while you are being questioned. If you cannot afford to hire a lawyer, one will be appointed to represent you before questioning if you wish. You can decide at any time to exercise these rights and not answer any questions or make any statements. Do you understand each of these rights I have just explained to you?
yes, sir.
Okay. So you say that you felt that what happened right now was wrong. Is that correct?
Well, you're like, yeah, like,
Okay.
dude, like, I get your concern, and I completely understand it.
Okay. So let me explain why.
They read it so they can't miss a single word and blow the waiver. I wish it was as simple as if they didn't say it explicitly, word for word, the way it's on that card. That would be a Fifth Amendment violation. But even if you read Miranda itself, they just talk about you have to provide them notice of these rights, not explicitly you have to say it this way. So, not exactly. It doesn't have to be exactly word for word a certain way. Just weird that he's using the card.
There was a meth pipe right where you were reaching, as well as a knife. Okay. Right, but where your hand was that I could not see was where those items were. Okay? Now, there's Supreme Court case law. The Supreme Court of the United States is the highest court in the entire land, and it has said in Pennsylvania versus Mims, which is a court case that you can look up, that a police officer does not have to have a reason to ask someone to step out of the car. Okay? If you are the driver and you are lawfully detained for a traffic infraction investigation, I can ask you to step out of the car without any reason whatsoever. That being said, when I came back here and I ran you, I saw that you had a history of convictions of controlled substance possession. Okay? The female in the back seat looked like she was on the nod from heroin from my training experience as a police officer. Okay, she had a torch lighter, which from my training experience as a police officer is consistent with the type of lighter that's used to smoke all sorts of drugs, meth, and heroin. One,
I am not trying to challenge your training at all. Like that's not my.
You're not what?
Trying to challenge what you already know.
Uh-huh.
I mean, like, my only concern is like, why did it go down like that? You know?
Because you didn't listen to me. I gave you multiple very simple commands and you didn't listen.
I have never ever heard of a cop. That's why. That's my reason behind what I did. When I have somebody that knows the law well, some don't get out of the car, and I have somebody I don't know is raising his voice at me. Would you listen to?
Oh, fuck, I did it. Damn it. I do love his comment of, I'm with somebody I know who knows the law. And you're some guy just yelling at me. Yes, I'm sure your buddy who's shooting meth through your eyeballs with you at the same time is really a credible source when it comes to the law. Danger aware organization. Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it. All you guys that came over from Skeptic, great. Thank you for stopping around. Tarkina Meyer, wait, so you had the right to remain silent. Then he asked him if he understood those rights. Don't even say yes. Well, then there's a question of, do you actually understand your rights? Have you asserted your right to remain silent if you're just being silent? No, you can acknowledge them. That doesn't mean you waive your right. So you should let them, if they ask you, do you understand them? You should tell them so they know you understood them. So, where am I? Yes, just muted. Yes. No, he didn't call him racist. He just was complaining because the guy didn't hear him.
My reason you didn't, because you didn't listen to me. I gave you multiple very simple commands and you didn't listen.
I have never ever heard of a cop. That's why. That's my reason behind what I did. When I have somebody that knows the law well, some don't get out of the car, and I have somebody I don't know is raising his voice at me, would you listen to?
I know the law. He doesn't know the law. Richard Coleman does not know the law. He is not a lawyer. Okay? And as a police officer, even if the police officer is wrong, you need to listen to them. Okay? Right, wrong, or indifferent, you need to listen because it's our safety that we're concerned about.
I know that's why when you said it.
Yes, that it's there now. Okay, even if the cop is wrong, yes, you should comply because you're not going to win that street argument. But our safety is what we're worried about. Fuck your safety. Everybody else has safety too. It shouldn't just be their safety they're worried about. It should be everyone's safety. But this idea of like, well, if the guy was smart when the cop says, well, that guy's not a lawyer. Neither are you, officer. So the fact you know Pennsylvania v. Mims is not exactly here, doesn't make you a clear-cut constitutional law scholar either.
Like they're like, that looks bad. Right?
Yes, and you're covered in ash.
Yeah.
What's the ash from?
A cigarette, man.
All right, Jason, have a nice night.
I smoke a cigarette, and I keep forgetting to flick it before it gets too long and falls on my shirt. It happens all the time. My seat's covered in ashes. My floor is covered in ashes.
So the ash isn't from the meth pipe.
No.
Tell me about the meth pipe. What's the
The
deal
ash
with that?
I'm just caked in all over my front of my shirt.
No. When people say honestly, it means they're about to lie. So just tell me the truth. Just tell me the truth.
So I found a meth pipe in my car. But I was gonna give it to the owner. I have no reason to lie to you.
Who is the owner of the meth pipe?
Wait, hold on. I gotta hear the.
It could be anybody. I don't lie to you.
Truth.
I gotta hear that again.
Just tell me the truth.
So I found a meth pipe in my car. But I was gonna give it to the owner. I have no reason to lie to you.
Who is the owner of the meth pipe?
He's just a good Samaritan returning lost property. How noble of this gentleman in 2022. Just doing God's work.
It could be anybody. I was gonna ask everybody I could give a right to today. I give people a right so I can get money back. That's it.
So instead of just throwing it in the nearest trash bag, you kept it in your car.
I have the worst possible luck with things. So I don't not take anything out of the car that looks incriminating, get me in trouble until I find out who it belongs to. Because I didn't put it in my car. So the only way I can get rid of it is have somebody who it belongs to get rid of it. Get out of
When's the last time you used?
Like
You're thinking this morning? Okay.
I'm not gonna lie to you.
What did you use when you used?
Meth.
You ever use heroin?
It's funny you say that. No, I eat cracker jokes and I got plenty of that on me because I'm black. So I use that.
You use what?
Never mind, it's a silly joke. No, I did not use heroin.
So he admits using meth, but
Race
that pipe's
has
not
nothing
his.
to do with this, man.
I know that. I get that. I'm from the South. You guys would have attacked me as soon as possible if you guys had a race thing. You know what I mean? I've seen it numerous times. So I get that's not a race thing. I just.
Do you have any drugs on your person right now? What do you got?
Church me. I'm nothing to hide to you.
You have nothing?
Nothing.
Nothing at all.
Nothing at all.
Okay. So if I test the residue in that meth pipe, what's it gonna pop for? It's a stupid question, but I'm asking.
So honestly, I've done this for a while, and that
you've done what for a while?
So I went through drug court,
Mm-hmm.
and I got in trouble for drugs. That is not the same thing that I've known. I tried or I was addicted to before. So I don't know what that is, but it's not what I used to do.
What did you used to use?
Different meth than what I do.
And you smoked meth as recently as this morning?
Well, I smoke wherever the hell that is. It's not meth. To me, it's not meth.
Oh, it doesn't feel the same?
I don't know what it's doing. It's causing all kinds of crazy shit out here, but I don't think it's the same drug. I don't believe it is the same drug.
Where did it come from? The stuff that you smoked this morning?
Honestly, you're fun. That's funny. I hate when people say that to me. It's a good one. So I don't know where it came from per se, but a friend of mine has it. I don't give out names. I had a hard time doing that. I've been working on it. I get it. Makes it seem shady.
Yes, he should have stopped talking. He didn't, and this is the problem. It just goes on and on and on. And yes, as a defense attorney, you know how many times people do this? Pretty much all the time. You're not helping yourself. You're not explaining things away. This is all just getting recorded and then put in a report. It also doesn't help you mention you're already in drug court and you're still out smoking tons of meth. That doesn't look good either for the court. Got a super chat from Dispatch Indirect for $2. Thank you for your support. I truly appreciate it. For $2, it is a complex methodology. I see what you did there. You can stick that in your pipe and smoke it. Oh, yes, he thinks he's smoking he thinks he's being very, very special. Yes, he thinks he's so smart. So we're gonna finish this one up and then move on to something else.
But it came from a friend. I believe he got it given to him, so I don't know where it came from.
Okay. What drugs does Rich have in the black bag that he was unzipping to get his phone out of?
I do not look in his bag.
Okay, because that was the other thing that gives me concern is when I saw the needles in there. Those can be used as weapons against me as well.
Yeah, I'm not trying to cause you no harm at all.
No, and you've been cool with me. Yeah, I mean, you made some bad decisions, but you've been cool with me overall. Rich, on the other hand, has made some very bad decisions.
He's the only person that he's been there for me, so it hurts me.
Yeah, and Rich doesn't know the law like he thinks he does. He's wrong. I will print out the case law for him. But that being said,
don't start telling me the case law here, officer.
But you have the whole town against you, and like they hate you for whatever reason.
What do you mean the whole town against you?
Well, the county don't like me. And
why don't they like you?
Yeah, he should have stopped. He should have shut up. He's not helping himself. And then yes, hey, what's your buddy got in the bag that we saw? Don't snitch on your friends either. Did they let Toothless go? Yeah, there was no indication she actually committed a crime yet. Once they started tripping her up about like, oh, those drugs yours, she didn't say anything. So, toothless in Seattle. Oh. Corrections 101. This officer's doing a masterful job. Yes, he is doing a great job in engaging this guy and making sure he doesn't invoke his right to silence. Because yes, guys, the cops are trained to keep you talking. And the more you talk, the more likely you are going to say what they are looking for and incriminate yourself. So they are trained to keep you talking, to keep you from invoking your right to remain silent. Doesn't mean they prevent you from doing it, but they keep trying to engage you and talk to you, hoping you spill the goods. So, yeah, bravo, meth heads in Washington. That was great work. So apparently, just so you guys are aware, this is apparently something you cannot say on Twitter. Not saying good or bad or indifferent. I'm just saying apparently Twitter will not let you say this. This guy's Twitter account was suspended. So, yes. And Bren, thank you again for gifting some memberships to people. I know they appreciate it. Yeah, it's natural if people want to talk their way out of problems. It's true, but yeah. I'm just, don't talk to the police about him. She was a smart one by keeping her mouth shut. Well, she did better than they did. Well, now, yeah. I like that plan. Yeah, I know. I like that plan. It's like, where's the lie? Eric, he said the quiet part out loud. Yes. Our Fulmar. Is that an elected official in Florida? No, it's a guy running for office in Florida. So he's just a candidate. I don't believe he's the office holder. You need to make custom emojis for your members only, Trace. Oh, yeah, I got to figure something out for that. Sure. I will work on that or figure out who I need to talk to about doing that. But that is another thing I will look into amongst a million others for starting to do this stuff. on a more serious level. Yes, corrections. There is a famous video, "Do not talk to the police," where the defense attorney goes and then the cop goes. Yes. Although I do think the cop says a lot of shit, he reveals how scummy he is at times where he says, "Well, I'll help you out." And then he admits, like, "I only really helped out one person." I mean, that's fucked up. You can lie to people about a lot of things, saying, "I'll help you out," and then just blow them off. That part, I mean, it's one thing to lie to, tell them lies, but tell them something like that, "Oh, I'll help you out," and then don't actually help them. That's a little fucked up, I think. Honesty, Jacob saying honesty actually works with cops. Don't bullshit at all. You'd be surprised. I mean, depends on your situation. I mean, maybe if you're honest, you might get out of a speeding ticket, but if they catch you with something, they catch you with drugs or a gun, you being honest doesn't do anything except kind of speed things up. You're still going to get arrested. You're still going to get charged. I mean, they're not going to be like, "Hey, man, I found this gun in your car and I know you can't have it, but since you told me the truth about it, I'm just going to, throw it down the drain and nobody will ever know about it." The honesty really going to get you so far in dealing with the cops. Very breaded. What, saying the cop's an asshole for fucking lying to people? Oh. Oh, okay. We have a visitor. We have a guest.
Got there eventually. Sorry to keep you waiting. How's things?
Okay. I understand. It's got to make sure like things aren't falling off the ceiling there.
Pretty much. No, we had the daughter's 4th birthday today, so the had 8 or 10 4-year-olds running around the ankles.
Oh, that sounds horrible.
Yes, it was.
Was it a good themed party at all or no?
Yeah.
Was it Bluey themed or something?
Frozen. So, as much as I pushed for Bluey, she did get a few Bluey toys, but it was wall to wall Frozen.
Oh.
So. Oh, but anyway.
Say, like, do you guys have the Peppa Pig problem down there too?
What,
or
with
like
the accents and that sort of thing?
Yeah. Or does it not work like they're like, "Oi, cut me Peppa Pig"? Is that how it works down there?
No, look, to be
like your kid
honest,
walks in and be like,
Peppa Pig would become a bacon sandwich before I would allow that to happen.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie, it'd be funny if your kid walks in and be like to your wife, be like, "Oi, bitch, me Peppa Pig." That would be totally healthy.
What's that? My background is void proving that Australia doesn't exist. Oh, for Pete's sake.
It's a blue screen.
It's a blue screen. Blue screen. Because if you saw what was behind me, you'd know exactly how disorganized my home office is.
Oh.
So.
It's been a little while since I've seen you. Glad you're glad I can talk to you again.
Yeah, got to start doing it a little more frequently. It's just finding time to cross paths, basically.
Oh, I know, but I'm glad to see you back on too. So
cheers. Faux country. Jesus, corrections.
Faux country. It's faux. Yeah, I know. We're using a little bit of a bilingualism here, a little French. I don't know if you guys understand that down there. I'm
trying to think of something smart ass, but my brain's fried. Don't expect too much of me. What's the Peppa Pig problem? The Peppa Pig problem is that when it was imported into the US, a whole bunch of kids started having British accents.
Yes.
Even I'm aware of that.
Yes. My when I was married at the time, my niece, she was really about Peppa Pig, and she started doing the whole mummy, and she started, "Hello, my name is Peppa." Like, she sounded just like the Peppa Pig girl.
Oh,
So yeah, it was. Yes, it's a very well. It's better than them sounding like they're the, some like British street accent. It's like, "Oi, governor."
g'day, governor.
Yeah. So it's a real thing that happens. Kids listen to it, and there's, like Australian TV shows that the kids will pick up, Australian accents from. So it does happen.
Oh, it definitely happens. I watched enough of The Simpsons that grades 6 through 9, I had an American accent.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, well. So I have been watching and listening in the background.
Okay.
So did Baldwin actually have some actual live ammo on his person at the time?
I didn't read the report, but I didn't think it was going to say anything like super drastic, but it sounds like he may have had some on him.
Holy crap! I mean,
So-
in what universe is it a bright idea to take the prop weapons out to a range and fire them? I mean,
Well, it's not, and then the fact they had live ammo anywhere near the set,
Mhm.
and then I still think she should have been checking those because it's not like she got a million rounds from the
Mhm.
prop house, but there are a bunch of them, and she could check them to make sure they're dead and they're not operable. But she didn't do any of that. I mean, this girl was all about, from the Instagram picture she took, she was all about doing the Instagram stuff and not actually doing her job.
Yeah.
So,
because I mean, it's the frequency with which this comes up. I'm starting to think that I'm going to have to get self-defense's book and get him to give me a crash course in American gun law, just so that I can keep up to date with everything.
well, hold on. What did you want to ask, or what were you saying?
Oh no, I just meant that
Oh,
just so that I don't make an idiot of myself, because it seems like it comes up in the news fairly frequently that there's been something. But
with
I
Alec
mean,
Baldwin, yeah.
Well,
I mean, those guns, they were legal to own, they were legal to use. There was nothing. There aren't really too many rules surrounding them, especially in the state they were in. So,
right. Because I mean, I know next to nothing about actually handling guns. It's part of the reason why I'd like to make a trip across at some point.
Okay,
even just to actually go to a gun range.
There's 4 basic rules, and they're called the 4 rules, and as long as you adhere to one of them, usually nothing like you can have an accident or be completely negligent, but generally nobody will get hurt.
I feel like the main one is don't point a gun at something you don't intend to kill.
The first one is all guns are loaded, because if you treat them as they're always loaded, that generally if you know it's loaded, you don't point it at something you're not willing to kill. That's always true. And then but there's also other rules. You don't put your finger on the trigger until you're ready to shoot. And then you're also, the 4th one is know what's your target and what's behind it. So as long as you follow at least one of them, you're generally going to be safe, because if I put my finger on the trigger and I'm not ready to shoot, but I don't point anything I'm not willing to kill, I can shoot off into the ground. And then that was still a problem. But yes, generally though, it's people who, the reason almost always why people get injured with firearms, because I didn't know it was loaded. But that goes all the way down to paintball guns, airsoft guns. Oh, I thought it was unloaded. And here it's a little different. Like, I didn't think it was a live round. So that's kind of the same vein.
Okay. Still an incredibly stupid thing for him to do, but fair enough.
Yeah. Oh, well, actually, hold on. I think there's, I know yeah, we can look at it real quick. I don't know how big it is. Where is it? I found it before, and then I didn't really download it. Or I did, and I lost it.
No such thing as an unloaded gun. No, and look, that's something that it's always been curious for me about, like, handguns, not necessarily revolvers or your rifles or anything, but the phrase "one in the chamber." So does that mean that you can pull a magazine and still have one bullet in the gun?
Yes.
Okay. So so it really should be that even when the magazine's removed, you should always treat it as loaded.
Yes, and it is not even if I hand you a gun and I check it and I know it's unloaded, I hand it to you, and then you don't even leave the room. I'm watching you the whole time. You look at it, and you're like, "Oh, okay, cool," and you give it back to me. That is still a loaded weapon. to me, I have to consider that, if I'm being smart, a loaded weapon, because I may not have seen you do something with it. You may have been like fucking around with it and put a round in the chamber. You could have
Right.
done any number of things. So I should then check it again. And anytime you're handed a weapon, you should always check it. And if you don't know how to check it, you should say, "Hey, how do I check this?" And generally, if you're with somebody who's not an asshole, they'll say, "Oh yeah, cool, sure. Here's how you check this, and make sure it doesn't, blow your head off with it." So, can I post? Hold on, can I post a link to the Long Crime webpage that has the FBI document on it? Sure, M2, or you can just send it to my email to me real quick, because I'm not gonna lie. Like I said, I was busy with so much crap this week. I didn't actually get a chance to really look at it, but yeah,
No, it's one of those things. If I downloaded it, I wouldn't know what I was looking at. So
yeah, but does that make sense though? Does that kind of answer your questions about stuff?
Yeah, absolutely.
More.
No. I think it's just in general. I need to acquaint myself with the overall gun laws. Just to, I know that it varies state by state, but I figure at least if I get some sort of general overview, I can compare it with Australian laws and sort of at least half know what I'm talking about when people ask questions.
Yeah.
So, and Tucker, I'm not ignoring you. I've seen that pop up a couple of times. I don't know if we're going to bother, honestly. The odds of America extraditing her are slim to nil. We're more than happy to try without her being here. That can happen.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's is it, because Australia's going to look at it, is it worth it to go through all the trouble, or we'll just point out what she did and then just never let her back in?
No, they'll try her. They're not going to. It's not going to be a case of we never let her back in, because the only way to do that is if she is tried and convicted.
Can you try an absentia in Australia?
Yeah,
you can.
That's what'll happen in this instance.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Particularly if she's in a country that is, if we make an extradition application and it's rejected, which, let's face it, it's more than likely, I'd say, in this instance, I'll be very surprised if they don't try and in absentia. And because for the most part, if there's an outstanding warrant, so there's two likely scenarios. Either the warrant will be put out, if she ever sets foot back in the country, she'll be arrested and tried then, or they'll try her in absentia, find against her, which I think would be, I'd say most likely to be at this point, to be perfectly honest. Oh, excuse me. In which case, then she's provided the charge, because where the charge has a likely sentence of more than 12 months, that gives the Australian government under the Migration and Immigration Act.
Hold on one second, Hayden.
Yeah.
Hey, M2, I just updated. I forgot to put my email in the down in the description. Shoot me the email with the link. We can read through the report and do that. I'm fine with doing that. So just let me know when you send it. Sorry, you were saying though.
No, all good. Yeah, provided that there's a sentence of 12 months or more potential on the sentence, on the charge, that gives them the right to terminate a 404 or prevent her from getting any further 404 visas. So one way or another, it's highly unlikely she'll ever set foot back in Australia. That is my distinct impression. But if they try her in absentia, that kicks into gear all sort of extradition treaties that we have around the world as well. So it will severely limit her ability to go overseas. So unfortunately, you guys are stuck with her.
That sucks. I was hoping we get rid of her.
Depends if she's stupid enough to hop a plane. She certainly won't be going back to Britain, let's face it.
Well, I don't know. She's not that bright.
True. And you never know. Whoever she convinces to be in a relationship with her next may try and smuggle her in a bag.
Ooh. Just throw her on the plane.
in the carry-on.
Yeah. Where is this? I'm trying to find this damn thing.
What happened in Britain? That was the Oh, sorry. Do you want to?
Yeah. So what happened in Britain is she testified in the when Johnny Depp sued the Sun, a British newspaper, and it sounds like she may have committed perjury in Britain when she talked about, among other things, what happened in Australia. But also, it's now clear all the evidence of Johnny Depp being abusive and attacking her are clearly made up. So,
Oh, that UK judgment was an absolute travesty from where to go. Honestly, reading that.
Danger aware. Are you saying she's a dog? Well, she's not like a lawyer dog, but yeah, she is kind of a dog.
I'm gonna say it. She's a bitch. Let's face it.
Yeah. Well, that too. Yes, but she's just a dog. Okay, so hold on here. Somebody said they have the. Where is it? Okay, this is the thing I was looking through. Where's the Where is Okay, yeah, this is one I've looked at already too, and it doesn't the actual unless I'm being a boomer here, I don't see the actual link. Oh yeah, oh god, okay, finally I found it. Took long enough. Okay, yeah, okay, we got it now. So hold on, here we go. Oh, I appreciate you. Oh, you're appreciating Mark, not me. Never mind. All right. Yeah, that's okay. Hey, you know what? At least somebody's getting appreciated tonight. But yeah. Also, if we're talking about stuff, Hayden, don't be afraid to jump in and say like, like what's this mean or what that means. I'm fine with answering it. So
appreciate that.
We need to.
No, I try and live by the rule, never be the smartest guy in the room anyway. So if I've got questions, I'm going to ask them.
Sure. All right. Oh, you know what? We're going to open this up as a. It's probably easier to open this as a PDF and then. Yeah, we're going to just boop. We're going to do it this way. It's a lot easier to read it, I think. All this money I pay for having Adobe PDF, I may as well use it.
Oh, tell me about it.
Yeah. Okay, so.
Hey, do you guys get to use DocuSign over there for documents, or does everything have to be original signatures?
No, you can do electronic signatures on things too.
Okay. We've only sort of just caught up to that because of the bug and that sort of thing. So for affidavits and court and that sort of thing. But
okay,
yeah, just curious.
Oh no, you're fine. Yeah, so this is it's from the FBI. Although, we've learned a lot about FBI, like the hair examiners being a bunch of voodoo. So who knows if this is actually true? So it's from the laboratory, out in Quantico, and that's where their headquarters are. Where they do all their stuff is at. So this is talking about the documents, what the information is contained. They found a bunch of cartridges they looked at. A cartridge from bandolier on top of the cart, cartridge from the holster inside the building, a cartridge from a tray. They analyzed a bunch of different ones. So they found disc-shaped double base smokeless powder, and smokeless powder is what's normally put in modern cartridges. So what you'd find today and stuff. So like can't show the magazine, YouTube will get mad. So like in this bad boy, this has got smokeless powder in it. Then there's black powder, which is obviously if you went way back in the day, that's what would have been in these.
That was in the muskets and things. Yeah.
Well, that would have been also in some of this stuff too at the time.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Smokeless powder was invented in 1883. So, yes, the French invented it, and it was yes, very, very critical. And then everybody figured it out right away. So, they talk about smokeless powder being a low order explosive, meaning it's not like a high order explosive like C4, where it's got a high shock wave, a high fast burn rate. So, that's why they call it low. They used a couple different techniques to do different analysis here. For questions about the content of the report, you got to contact this guy at we're not allowed to know. For questions about submitting evidence, you have to contact this lady at we're not allowed to know. So they also did some other stuff here, which is the firearm and tool mark analysis. So when you get to tool mark analysis, that includes anything that touches an item. So, for example, in a firearm, there's when it goes into the chamber. This is gonna. I don't care.
So we're not just talking
When
about
the bullet
rifling,
goes
there's
into
other
the chamber,
things.
yes, when the bullet goes into the chamber,
Mhm.
it's going to leave markings on the casings. When the firing pin
Okay.
hits the primer, it's going to leave a tool mark. When
Mhm.
the extractor grabs the casing and yanks it out of the chamber, that leaves a tool mark. Basically, anything can leave a tool mark, including a reloading press. When you're reloading ammunition, that can leave marks on the weapons and items. All that stuff. The rifling on a bullet is a tool mark.
Mhm.
All that stuff. So and on this one here, they talk about a bunch of the bullet recovered from the one guy was a tool. They recovered that to do a tool mark analysis. They recovered a bunch of different ones to do a tool mark analysis. Hold on.
So how I mean, like I've only seen
Yeah.
sort of analysis stuff done on TV shows. So I'm taking that with a grain of salt. But I mean, how accurate is the analysis being able to compare it to say a fired bullet? Then I mean, obviously, if it's
Well, I mean, I hate to use this, but do you remember watching the what's it? Hold on, what's the name of it? I gotta make sure I get the movie right.
because the only thing I've got to compare it to really is the Blacklist, where she fires a bullet into a bunch of phone books to try and maintain the bullet shape.
Yeah. Okay. Do you remember the Disney movie, The Great Mouse Detective?
Yes.
Okay. You remember how he's sitting there with the bullets trying to line them up at the
Oh, yeah.
beginning? Okay.
Yep.
That's kind of like the I'll explain to you like your forward version of it, but they do that.
Okay.
They don't shoot into books; they'll shoot into a tank of water because water sucks the energy out of bullets and it stops. So you can shoot to a tank of water that's like the size of a chest freezer,
Yep.
and they'll shoot into it, and then they'll pull the bullet out.
Okay,
and
but
then
do they still do that with high velocity rounds? Because I thought they shattered and broke up in water.
Not always. They can do it
Okay.
sometimes. And oh my god, my allergies. Hold on one second.
It's very interesting. I'm learning. So we live in the woods, 4-foot fence, 12-foot gate is right behind our property. BB gun is useless.
Yeah, there are a lot of He found a double-ended dildo in Alex's trailer. Don't they use ballistic gelatin? Ballistic gelatin simulates going through flesh. It doesn't stop the bullet. It zips right through it. So ballistic gelatin it shows you like wound cavities, and if you do the slow motion or the high speed, you can see the temporary wound cavity, then you see the permanent wound cavity, but it doesn't stop bullets. So, but yeah, there's a bunch of different ways they can do it. And then the tool mark analysis, they could generally to a certain, unless there's a specific, they call it an artifact, like there's something special on that firing pin, like there's a special dent or something in it. They
Mhm.
can say to a degree of certainty that this is the firearm it came from, or this firearm extractor grabbed that bullet casing. Sometimes they can just say to a degree of certainty it's possible. It
Mhm.
all depends on the quality of what they're looking at. But once again, they use the revolver, so I'm pretty sure that's the one Alec used.
Mhm.
All kinds of stuff there. And then they grabbed a bunch of other cartridges. Tons of ammunition. They looked at all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, you can
So,
understand them wanting to take a large sample size, though.
yes. So they went through all of it. And they talk here about this is the actual firearm. This is the gun Alec Baldwin was using. It's an Italian one. If you're probably wondering why do they use an Italian gun, Italy, going back to the spaghetti Western time, they love cowboys. They love Western stuff. Also, because of World War II, most European countries, you're not allowed to own firearms in military calibers. So at least during like the Cold War, that was an issue, especially when you have like communist terrorist groups running around. You're trying to cut down on all the things they can have. It also cuts down on, like, well, you go to France and like Gustav the farmer dies and they find his, basement full of, resistance gear. So that's why in Italy, nowadays I think you can do whatever you want in Italy, but the Western guns are still big there. So Pieta is a company that sells them, and in America we like them too, but they make them well enough that we buy them. So, and as you notice here, the FBI said, it's consistent with normal operation for a single action revolver. So all the stuff they talk about and the mechanisms, they say it's perfectly fine. So they could do a ballistic search on the items. It's kind of like, think about it like if they have DNA samples, they can input the data. But nothing was submitted because nobody ever used that gun before and submitted the ballistics. So here they just talk about the actual analysis of the lead bullets. They were flat-nosed bullets. Yeah, just pretty simple. So they do the discharge testing. Now, what happens with a basically a cowboy gun like this? You understand, like the back of a bullet, it's got here. YouTube, if you're gonna blow me up over this, suck my dick. Okay, looking at the back of that, you see the primer in the back? It's right in the middle. Okay. So the way the cowboy guns work, especially the single action ones, the hammer's got it's got the firing pin kind of built into it. So when it comes forward, it smacks the back of it. Well, if you carry it with the hammer down, it literally sits on top of the primer. So if you're walking along and you can smack the hammer forward, because it'll give a little bit, it goes right into the primer, the gun goes off.
Yeah, so you trip or you hit it accidentally, someone walks by you and hits it, you can shoot your foot. Okay, gotcha.
Well, you'd have to actually hit the hammer with some force, but it could go off. So this is consistent with a gun of that design. Like, that's literally how it works. You can't really change that. They talk about the hammer and the quarter cock and the half cock position. So as you're cocking it back and the surfaces inside the gun are engaging, you get different cock positions. They did, they figured out that with the half and quarter cock, it could not fire without a pull of the trigger. With enough pressure applied, each one of the safety positions fell. So it's generally not supposed to. But if that's consistent, if you pull the trigger hard enough, it will still go forward.
Right.
With the quarter cock, there was not enough force to detonate the primer. They tried it with the half cock, and this is part of furthermore of the mechanisms of it. As it's rotating, the cylinder's rotating, there's some issues that go on that the cylinder was not properly aligned with the bore. So if the cylinder is not aligned with the bore, then the hammer strikes like on the outside of it. So it didn't hit the right spot. So with the hammer in the full cock position, so fully ready to go, it could not be made. They could not pull the trigger while the internal parts were actually functional. So they tried, but they noted if we tried to do it, we would break the gun, and that obviously is not what happened. So what they did, portions of the gun were subjected to being hit with a hammer and a mallet. What they did was they pulled the hammer back, and then they started hitting it from behind to see if they could get it to go off, to try to replicate what would happen. But they fractured parts of the gun to test it. So they broke it to prove that it couldn't happen. So,
just to clarify, so is this with with an identical model, or was this with the actual one that they confiscated?
No, it looks like they used that gun. They tested it and
they actually broke it.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
So, but here's the thing: you could buy like 100 of them that are going to be identical to it. But no, they wanted to test that gun because that is the actual item they're claiming it happened with. So they yanked it back, and this was the only successful discharge was attributed to the fracture of internal components, not the failure of the firearm or safety mechanism. So you would literally have to suffer a complete mechanical failure for that to happen.
For it to
and
go
not
off.
just, not this, because even the safeties are working. I mean, think about kind of like a car. If you put the parking brake on,
Mhm.
You can do everything right. And if the parking brake fails, well,
It's still going to roll down the hill.
Yeah.
Yeah, and see, Zero Fox, that's sort of where I was thinking at. I mean, this is the FBI report, but I mean, what happened if, say, a defense wanted to organize their own report based on the information? I mean, they can't really do that now if the gun's been damaged.
Well, they couldn't, but they would have, they would probably be able to go ahead and get a similar one, and they'd have their similar experts get involved.
Mhm.
Although they're going to have a tough time saying the FBI probably did something wrong because, the prosecution could go out and get a ton of experts, or the plaintiff could get a ton of experts and say, look, that's exactly how we would test it. And I'm
Yep.
betting this test was also documented on video. We just haven't seen it.
I suppose the point I was trying to get at is so if the defense wanted to do their own test, they just go out and get a similar model.
Well, you just go out, you go out and buy another one. But
okay.
Well, the problem is, though, he made such an outlandish claim. The only way they could verify his claim was to destroy it.
Right.
So that's another issue.
Yeah.
I think they have problems with, because you can't make a claim like that and then get mad when they try to verify whether it happened or not.
Yeah.
So, DCAR. My two favorite channels are here.
Oh, cheers.
Awesome. Well, yeah, thanks. So, is it murder then? I mean, if we're going with the theory Alec Baldwin wanted to kill this lady, this is the most brilliant murder I've ever heard of. I think it's highly negligent. And do I think Hannah Reed should be suffering a manslaughter charge? Sure, but
that's the armorer, right?
Yeah. But nothing's going to happen to anybody, I don't think, at this point. I don't think anybody's going to get charged. And it's just, I don't think it's going to happen. So this, and then if you look here for the ammunition part, they highlight their own definitions of what they're, a cartridge is a single round that, applies to everything here. There's a functional live cartridge, which is the one that will actually fire. There's the dummy cartridge. An inert cartridge may be naturally colored, or it should have a color, have colors that are different. But that's a dummy cartridge. And there's a blank cartridge, which is just, it's got powder in it, generally flash powder, and it makes a loud noise. So they inspected a lot of cartridges. They inspected a lot of rounds of ammunition here. They talk about Starline brass. That's not really a big deal. Starline is a company that manufactures brass casings for basically any type of. Basically, if it's something you can shoot, they can probably make you brass for it, or do make brass for it, so you can reload it. So all kinds of guns.
Yep.
And then the head stamp is on the back of this, on the bottom. If you go online, you Google like cartridge head stamping, that's the part you're looking at, is up here on the top. And that generally will say like the manufacturer and the caliber on it. So, if that makes any sense. So they got a ton of these cartridges put together. They looked at a ton of them. So
hang on. So can I just clarify? So a dummy cartridge itself is never going to go off in any form. It's basically just it's an inert piece of metal. Basically.
Yes, it should never go off. Yeah, it should never ever go off. Kind of like hold on. Kind of like this. This is inert. This is a PG-2 round from an RPG-2. Should never go
bringing
off.
out the big guns.
Now, like, I can take it and shouldn't go off.
Please don't do that on midstream.
What was that? I didn't hear you.
I just realized you couldn't hear me. I was just saying, please don't do that midstream.
Well, I thought would be real funny is to go like this and then hit leave studio at the same time.
He hopes it's inert. Yeah, exactly. Okay, so I mean, look, obviously, I can understand why you would
Yeah.
have the dummy rounds on set.
Yeah, you need them for the yeah.
Yeah, what's the point of having the inert rounds though? So theoretically, from my perspective, the only sort of ammunition that should ever be anywhere near a set would be dummy rounds, because then there's not going to be any sort of confusion.
You would think that, but you might have blanks for the shooting. Like you're shooting a scene, so you're gonna need the blanks to go boom, 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 boom.
Oh, hang on, no, sorry. What I was saying is the blanks themselves. So, is there a difference between blanks and dummy rounds?
Yes, the blanks are actually ones that if you pull the trigger, there's a primer in them, there's powder in them, it'll go bang. So,
oh yeah, sorry, no, because when I was looking through the report before, it was saying that there was the inert ones and there was the dummy rounds. I thought the dummy rounds were the same as blanks.
No. If it's inert, if it is inert, it is not a dangerous item.
Yep.
So that's the
still
reason
might
why
get
the
arrested for
rocket
bringing it through security.
Yeah, oh yeah, certainly. But there's a reason why that rocket I can own
Mhm.
because it's inert. The
Yep.
anti-tank mine, I own a TM62 inert training mine from somewhere in the Warsaw Pact. It's inert. I just thought it neat. It's pretty cool. I got it for like $10. It's pretty cool. I don't know where it's somewhere in my garage. I gotta go find it. But no, I thought it was pretty neat to have. So it's inert. It cannot be used. It's not explosive. But they go through all of these. They talk about a lot of different. So they found a lot of things that are physically consistent with live cartridges. They found a lot of live cartridges. I mean, if we're scrolling through these, there's a bunch of stuff here. So, yeah, there's a lot here that so this is something I think that might answer your question too, because now I'm just looking through this for the first time. Under methods, it talks about the make, model, and firearm are determined by observing everything they can by reading the gun, because usually on a gun, the caliber is listed along with the make and model. And that's just so you know what to put inside of it.
Yep.
And then this may help you too. Otherwise noted, submitted firearms are tested, and they test guns all the time. The condition that they're received. With ammunition from the laboratory's reference ammunition file. So they have like an ammunition library of reference ammunition they can use, so they know like a 45 caliber firearm. Here we have some we know this is good 45 caliber ammunition.
Okay.
And they test it in a manner that allows for testing of available modes of fire. They try to test everything they can as long as it's safely done. So, trying to break it with a hammer, that is a little sketchy, but they can do it. They generally won't do that. So, and as I said, like the tool marks here. So first if the tool marks aren't different, you can look at you observe them normally, and then you might observe them under a microscope. You look for all the different things there that are impressed and striations. You determine what you do if there's patterns of similarity. They talk a lot about it. In fact, there's an association of tool mark examiners. And they look at all kinds of stuff. But tool marks also
qualified, I suppose.
Yeah, well, there's tool marks also to the point of if you get stabbed and there's impacts into bone, and you might get an anthropologist who says I've looked at people from the past 100,000 years, and here's what a stab wound looks like, and chips and bones and things like that. So those are all tool marks too, in a way.
Right.
So let me see here. Let's get to let me see. Where were you looking at? So they did determine that they do think that some post-manufacture features were involving these weapons and involving the ammunition here. Oh, hold on. D-Car for $4.99. Thank you for the super chat. We'll love to see a weekly show with you both. Thanks. Yeah, we'll talk about that. So, hold on. Here you go. Yeah, he hopes it's a nerd. Yes, Mark. um, yeah. So, oh crap, are you still there, Hayden? Oh, I guess Hayden left for a minute. I guess it's just me talking. So, oh, they did latent prints on everything. That makes sense too. They did all kinds of prints. Alec Ray Baldwin. His name Ray. Wow, I learned something new today. Wait, that really can't be his name. Alec Baldwin. That Ray's like a girl's name, like Ray Sunshine. Oh, it is Alec Ray Baldwin III. Um, Danger Aware saying, I thought Hollywood it's illegal to carry a live round onto a set. Well, it'd be illegal because you're handling live ammunition, and you know, just how do you get it? How are you possessing ammunition in California? This was done in New Mexico, so it doesn't matter. There are no rules like that in New Mexico, so it doesn't matter. Yeah, the plastic or cardboard in a blank can be fired and do damage. Sure, it can, but not the same damage as shooting through one person into another. That's pretty tough. So they did the fingerprint examinations, which is interesting because they took Hannah Gutierrez. I thought her name was Hannah Reed, but whatever. Sarah Zachary, David Halls, who was the assistant director, and then obviously your boy, shoot him up a lot, Alec Baldwin. You know, putting in that work, shooting that director of photography. So, actually, I hope Hayden comes back because this is an interesting part. I don't know if he knows this, and I do know this enough from going through things that fingerprints are not always there. Oh, you're back. You're on mute. Hello. You're still on mute.
Yep, there we go. Sorry.
Okay. No, you're good.
No, I was trying to make the. I'll be perfectly honest. I was trying to get the Stream Deck to work so that I could do the voice mod crap.
Oh, okay.
But no, my mother called and she wanted to watch the daughter play with the toys, so figured that was one call I should probably take. So sorry.
Actually, hold on. So they also did fingerprint examinations of everybody. So Hannah Gutierrez, the armorer, Sarah Zachary, I think she was the assistant, maybe.
Mhm.
David Hall is the assistant director, and then our boy shoot him up. It's a lot. Now, Jim mentioned here. Where did he say it? Yeah, did you notice Baldwin was the only one as an FBI file already? That's because his fingerprints were submitted to the FBI database because he's had multiple run-ins with law enforcement for assaults and other things because he's generally a dickhead to people. So in America, if you get arrested and you get fingerprinted, those go into databases and then pretty much it'll hit up everywhere. So
but is that if you get convicted of something, or is that
no? If you get arrested,
fingerprinted, they keep it.
Yeah, you don't get to. Yeah, it doesn't get to go away. No,
At least in our regard, if you get fingerprinted and you don't get charged with anything, they've got to destroy them after 30 days.
Well, the government tells you they destroy it after 30 days.
True.
Do they actually?
Yeah.
So Alec Murdermore Baldwin. So this is interesting, and I don't know if you know this, Hayden. They talk about prints in this part coming up.
Mhm.
So they talk about prints. Now, the issue with fingerprints are it's not magical. You don't leave fingerprints on everything. So you can touch an item and there's no fingerprints on it.
Yep.
It's not just simple as touching like they might not fingerprints on a door or something like that, but parts of like I could touch this and I might not leave a fingerprint on it without even wiping it off. It all depends. Same thing for DNA. You can touch things and leave DNA, but you also might not leave DNA. So, I've had clients get caught with a firearm and they don't have fingerprints or DNA on it, and you get to say like, well, maybe they didn't touch it. Maybe it really wasn't theirs. So So they talk about this is them just explaining how the limitations and the methodology they use here. It goes on for a little while.
Okay.
And this one is actually interesting because they do cite all their scientific data with it.
Yeah. So can I be a real dick and just drop?
Yeah.
I'll be right back.
I'm not being a dick. You got to go do something.
Cheers.
Yeah. Hey, I'm hanging out here for fun. Can I just leave? It's like, yeah, of course. He knows nobody gets to leave. Heat shield. I tried to send to be an anthropologist, but a typo put me in the anthropomorphic apologist class. Spent a whole summer learning about why clouds look like Lincoln. That would be actually that'd be kind of fun. Worst $700 I ever spent. Yes. Anyways, see if we can find anything good here. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, just stop doing stuff, man. Quit having a life. Because what? It's like 4:00 in the afternoon there for him. I mean, how dare he have things going on? So but yes, Jim, going back to your point here, there are known prints for Gutierrez, Zachary, and Halls, and they should be retained for your files for future court use. They don't have to worry about for Alec Baldwin's because we already have them. So yeah, just more limitations on stuff, here. Helena Hutchins' DNA, yeah. And then yes, we get to the DNA stuff here, the swabbing of areas on the revolver. They talk about the likelihoods of who they are, the likelihood ratios. My final went over well. That's awesome. Yes, I hope you got the cloud guessing right. Worst miss I ever had was a stray. Where the hell were you at where that happened? Jeez, that sounds awful. Don't tell me it was here in America. Jeez. So this then gets to, because the FBI didn't do Helena's autopsy and stuff. This is the labs who are involved in it, the Mexico Office of Medical Investigations. So they go through all her stuff. They pull it all out. This is if you guys have never seen a toxicology report here. This is actually important. You can find out that there were, if there were amphetamines, barbiturates, benzos, cannabinoids, cocaine, oxycodone, opiates, methadone, fentanyl. These are just telling you the reporting limits on what they would look for. So they tested her urine, they tested her blood, and they used gas chromatography. So they looked for ethanol and acetone, and they talk about that. So Helena Hutchins, her post-mortem examination, the cause of death is a gunshot wound to the chest. Pretty obvious. She got shot. She got, man. So the pathologic diagnoses. She had a gunshot wound to the chest, to the right axillary region, which is the right side of her chest, up top. Lethal injuries to her chest, a right pneumothorax, which, yeah, that's not a good way to go. Not good for her at all. She had a perforation of her lower lobe at her right lung. Oof. She had a spinal cord laceration and it exited left in her mid back. And they couldn't find the projectile, which is interesting because it's still probably there. But oof, yeah, she was a goner. Spinal cord got lacerated, her lung got lacerated and perforated, and a pneumothorax, which means her chest cavity was filling up with blood and other juices, so she would suffocate on her own juices anyway. So, yeah, she was going to have a rough time. And then here is the narrative opinion. They do the full summary of what they talk about. This is pretty normal. This is like a lot of autopsies I've read in my time. So this is the interesting thing. This is the coroner's determination. She died of a gunshot wound to the chest. Review of available law enforcement reports or no compelling demonstration. The firearm was intentionally loaded. Based on all available information, which, who knows what they actually looked at. The absence of obvious intent to cause harm or death that is classified as an accident. Now, in their situation, yes, they can call it an accident because they did not, they're not determining homicide. But do I think they could argue it's some sort of negligent homicide or manslaughter? Sure. It's an army range in Wales. Jeez. It's a Baldwin blast.
Oh dear.
So yeah, you missed the sorry, I was reading ahead a little bit. We got to the coroner's assessment.
Yep.
The medical examiner. Oh yeah, she got fucked up real bad.
Ooh.
Yeah, so this is I don't know if you've ever seen them, but this is they do a toxicology report, they do and they talk about all the stuff they test. Obviously, in her case, it sounds like nothing was detected. All the stuff they would test for here, they talk about all the different things they look for in her blood and her urine. And then they talk this is the post-mortem, and that's just I like the front page of this one. It's like, how'd she die? Gunshot wound. Oh, accident, done, and then it just signed and moved on. But listen to what she had: a pneumothorax to her right chest. Yeah, that's where your juices fill up and you suffocate on them because they crush your lungs. Yeah. She had more than 1 liter of blood. Yeah. That leaked out. Her right lung was perforated. And then this one right here, her spinal cord got lacerated. So she was already toast.
Bloody hell. What did he hit her with?
Just a bullet. Just one bullet. But hey, once the bullet gets inside you, it can go all over the place. It was up in her upper chest and came out the middle of her back.
So it's ricocheted off bone or something. Far out.
Not even off bone. I mean, it's something traveling, 300-400 miles an hour. I mean, well, actually probably faster because it went through a guy, but let's say a bullet's traveling at 800 miles an hour and it starts running into stuff. It can go any direction it wants. So it doesn't really, it could have ricocheted off bones, but just, it doesn't take much for it doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't take much. Think about like the bullets that do the speed records. Like a little wave will cause them to wreck. So, it doesn't take much. I mean, like this little guy, you can like nick a branch and it'll go off kilter. So all kinds of stuff would happen. So they determined it was an accident. They don't determine any criminal stuff in it. So, yeah.
So basically, they'd say whether it was an accident or natural causes. They wouldn't impute any sort of.
Yeah, well, that's a little different for them to do. Yeah. Sense. Have a good night. Clown. The only problem is he didn't shoot her on Fifth Avenue. He's got to shoot her on Fifth Avenue so he can walk. That's the rule.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, no, Trump said that somewhere. He's like, I could shoot a guy on Fifth Avenue and I wouldn't get in trouble, and people would still vote for me. Sweet Tooth is asking, so it went through her, hit the other guy. Yes, it did. It went through him and into her, and then it went out the back of her. So it's somewhere. They never found the bullet, so the bullet's somewhere still in that building. So, yeah. Oh, M2 saying no. Pneumo is sucking chest. Hemo is suffocating on your blood. Okay. Yeah, pneumo is the air pressure squishing it. Sorry. I thought Sousa was behind her when I saw the animation. No, and the bullet. Pretty sure the bullet went through him into her. Shouldn't they declare it a homicide if it was a death caused by another human? The issue for them is it wasn't an intentional death because they state in their findings why they didn't label it that way. And it's because there was no obvious intent to cause harm for them, and that's the issue here. If you read the last paragraph, so this probably wasn't as political. This is just the doctor using their standards to determine whether it was natural causes, undetermined, accident, or homicide. So that's a Magic Kennedy bullet. No, they did not. No, don't start with the magic bullet stuff. Oh, no.
What,
because
are we going to start talking about a second ice bullet that came from another direction at some point?
no.
Or?
There's an explanation for the magic bullet anyway, and people don't like it, but it's true. So do you know what we're talking about with the magic bullet?
For me, magic bullet means any number of things that I've seen on TV.
Okay,
I've
okay.
Heard about a meat bullet, an ice bullet. I vaguely understand that it should relate to Kennedy, if I'm right. Or is that we're talking about something completely different?
Oh, the magic bullet. Well, there's an issue about so Kennedy was in the car, and so the issue was if you look at, so there were two theories about with Kennedy when he got shot. People thought there was a magic bullet because of the way they sat. Now, obviously, there is, and I'll just share screen here because we're gonna cheat and use Wikipedia. So, so this is the single bullet theory that people are claiming the bullet went like this; it would have to bounce around and go through everybody. But that's not likely what happened because in reality, does that make sense at all? No. What's the actual sense of how they were sitting? And it was more like this. And this is Kennedy and back and Governor Connolly in the front. Now, the other thing is,
Name is absolutely impossible to tag from my phone, and I respect that. I
What's
don't
that?
understand why. Sorry, I'm just reading Heat Shill's message. I don't understand why people put together names that are difficult to tag in chat because as a lot of people would know, a lot of my videos, I'm speaking directly to chat. We engage quite a bit, but then when I'm in other people's chats, I like to tag people so I can actually have conversations there if necessary as well. There's a few there that it's damn near impossible. But again, more power to you. Okay, so basically what you're saying is that there's some people that think that the bullet changed direction, whereas it could just as easily be that they were sitting slightly differently in the car.
Yes. And then there's also a Governor Connolly. The bullet goes through him in a bunch of different spots. So it goes through like a couple of different ways that if you were looking at his body, the bullet would have to like shoot around all over the place. Where
So is that why I hear the thing about how people reckon there was a second shooter or something?
No, that's a separate thing. In reality, though, once people started shooting, Governor Conley ducked down and the bullet went through him and he was like crouching. Right. So if he was sitting back up, the bullet holes don't make sense.
Okay.
No, the second shooter is have you ever watched JFK or the movie?
No, this is all news to me. That's why I'm sort of asking.
So you've never heard the meme back and to the left?
No.
Oh, okay. You know what? Fuck it. I don't know if YouTube can't get too mad. They should have the Zapruder film.
That was literally in my head. All I heard was, "Y'all gonna learn today."
Yeah. So, so part of it is when Kennedy's getting shot in the Zapruder film, there's a spot where at least it looks like his head goes back and to the left.
Right.
Implying he took a shot from the front, which is not where Oswald was.
Mhm.
So that's hold on here. I'm gonna I gotta try to find it because I'm trying to. Can we see where's the Zapruder film on its own? This might be it. Okay, here we go. All right, we're good now.
This version tracks the limousine and maintains
Go
President
grab your
Kennedy
kids. She can
and
see
Governor
something cool.
Connally at center frame. This version is only in slow motion.
Okay, so at that point, he's been shot once. And he's
Mhm.
grabbing like, "Oh no, I've been shot." He's not thinking, "Oh no, my tie came undone," or he's, maybe he's trying to floss his teeth. I don't know. Yeah, see, that's the
Ooh.
back and to the left part.
Okay.
That's the back and to the left part, which in at Dealey Plaza, where this happened, there
Mhm.
was a fence line and some trees that were up on a hill that he would have been facing, and that's where people think the shot would have came from. That's where
That's the
grass.
mysterious grassy
That's
knoll that I hear about.
yes, that's the grassy knoll. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
So the grassy knoll here, if I can show the shot, is
No, Drew, you're not just old. Oh, I need to set up. That double chin's terrible.
so this spot right here by the tree. This is the grassy knoll. Like they think a second shooter was up over this way.
Right.
And this is where Kennedy was coming down, and somebody went for the high score. So, we can see the rest of it. Yeah, there we go. Boom! Like watching a highlight reel. Then Jackie crawls up on the back. She's like, a piece of his head went that way. She went to go grab it. So, and then Governor Conley's in the front. That's him up here.
Mhm.
And as soon as the shooting starts, he starts ducking down because he thought they were trying to kill him, because Governor Conley had enemies as well, but not to the same level.
So I presume that there's varying reports as to how many bullets were shot.
Yes, it's not. Well, the FBI did an investigation and made determinations. Oh, show the version from the critic. Oh my god, that would be hilarious. Hold on, I gotta find that. No, I can't find it. I know what you're talking about, though. It is hilarious. Sorry, wrestler. But yes, the FBI made its determinations. So, oh, hold on, Heat Shield. What are you? Tooth to her might have looked like an explosion from which she needed to escape. I think she was like, honestly, if you asked her, she was probably trying to get like the Secret Service to help her. Like, oh my gosh, help me.
Yeah, I suppose in that sort of situation, you're going, yeah, okay, he's gone. Self-preservation kicks in.
Brent is saying, funny you're talking about Kennedy because that was one of the few things Baldwin was ranting about in the interview he did Chris Cuomo. Huh. We may have to watch that if he's talking about Kennedy now.
The irony.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah. Can you imagine? Yeah. Well, hold on. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Wrestler Town. No, you're right. I tried the Critic Kennedy assassination, so it didn't pop up. But yes, we've got this now. This is awesome. I wonder if this is gonna work. You ever see the TV show The Critic?
No.
It was okay. You never saw like they did the film festival on The Simpsons episode?
Yep. Oh, did
This
they
is
turn
him.
that into an actual? Okay, gotcha.
No, well, he was yeah, he had his own show. Yeah,
Uh,
they did a crossover to help make ratings work. But this is great.
That's all for today. Join me next week when I review the recently restored director's cut of JFK with 2 hours of new footage.
Back and to the left. 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 Back and to the left.
That's all for today.
So that's
Join me next.
That's from the movie JFK. You haven't seen that yet?
no.
With Kevin Costner in it? Okay. So it's the only trial, it was the only people charged with the death of Kennedy. And he kept on showing the Zapruder film in trial, and he keeps on saying in front of the jury, back and to the left, and it just keeps on looping it. He keeps on saying back and to the left. Mark, yes. Snipe that like button, yes. Snipe
Ooh,
the
what you
shit
drinking?
out of it. Me, I am drinking just iced tea today. Tea today. So I am not drinking I'm just drinking tea. We're not drinking anything else with it today. Well, see, like we're out of everything, so I don't feel like drinking a beer tonight. So
Sorry, just had an unexpected guest.
oh, do you want to show? Hey, do you want to your kids learn history today? I'll put the Zapruder film back up.
Not really unexpected.
Don't you dare. True. It's very true. Wasn't that unexpected. She's got all her new toys, so she's walking around showing them off.
Oh, okay, cool. Your wife is in the background saying that wasn't expected. Is your wife's name Sheila?
No.
Oh, okay, because I was
Mel.
because we had somebody we're talking with someone else. I was like, well, I know Hayden's name is Hayden, but I wonder if his wife's name's Sheila. Like, is your middle name Bruce? Because that's I know that from watching Top Gear.
No, like Bruce and Sheila are your typical Aussie knockabouts. But yeah, most of the time it's actually, sorry, I should clarify. It's Bruce and Sharon because you got Bazza and Shazza.
Oh, okay. Brent's saying you should definitely review it. It was infuriating. He was deflecting and rambling. I saw it on Legal Vices. I'll take a look at it. I had heard he had talked with Chris Cuomo, but I didn't know what they were going to do other than like yell at people and then, do all the other stuff that Chris Cuomo did to get fired. So I'll take a look at it. Oh, well, it looks like Hayden's gone for a minute. I think I might, actually, hold on here.
Oh, jeez. Okay, sorry.
Can you buy the store for 1 second? I have to.
Yeah, sure.
I got to pay the water bill.
Fair enough. So best critic moment is when the Velociraptor escapes the closet. Oh, the Seinfeld spit episode. Oh God, I haven't thought about that in ages. That's not a knife. This is a knife. It's like mutiny. Look, it could be absolutely worse. Let's face it. What was that? You should definitely review it. It was infuriating. It was deflecting, rambling, sort of on legal voices. Oh, is this the Chris Cuomo thing? Chris Cuomo. My apologies. Tell you what, I'm actually thinking that I might need to do a watch party or something and actually watch that JFK movie then. Still take over time.
I'm back. Oh, the Chris Cuomo Project, the CCP.
The rumor still abounds that you have a toilet right there.
Well, you know, if you become a member, I got to clean up some stuff in here. And a bunch of my foam panels came off the wall from the temperature change. I was going to give a tour of the studio, and I would just show. Literally, it's hold on, probably like 8 feet away from my desk, but it's in another room.
Okay.
So,
sorry, foam paneling, is that soundproofing or?
Yeah.
Does it actually do any good?
Yeah. Well, I bought a bunch of this crap.
Mm-hmm.
So, it was like $30 for a pack of like 95 of them.
That's not bad.
And they come in like a pack this big because it's all squished down.
Foam, so so it pops out.
Yeah.
And you can.
So when you cut it open, the foam expands, and then it smells like formaldehyde and all the cancer they gave you for free.
Can I speak to something in the chat?
Yeah.
Heat shield. This one is completely defunct. Okay, it's literally I use this. It's purely just I need to get some new headphones.
With the microphone bent back behind his head.
Yeah.
What microphone's bent back behind your head?
I got a sec. I'm gonna attach to the headset.
Oh. Okay.
So. I'm not a complete dickhead. I'm just putting that out there.
Okay. So yeah, that would be. Give us a tour. Well, yes, all the members are. I'm working on that. I got to give you guys special content. So yeah, I'm working on that. I got to clean up probably by tomorrow. Had to rearrange some stuff. But yeah, it's nearby. It's. I know people think it's right there, but it just happened to work out the way it was set up.
Oh, it's brilliant.
Yes.
I mean, presumably it was originally a second bedroom with a setup for like a guest room or something.
Well, there's a closet in here, but it's not really a big closet. So yeah, This is technically like another room that could be a bedroom. It would be listed one by a realtor. So. So
yeah, but let's face it, a realtor would list a shoebox as an extra room if they wanted to.
Oh yes, they would. They definitely would. And I just saw this because it came up on my. Oh, they did this as a short. That's sad. Okay, I'm not going to watch that then. Never mind. I thought it'd be fun to see, but I won't do it right now. Oh, so wow. 3 hours. Wow, I've been going for a while. Kind of. Well, you got anything, Hayden? You want to?
No, look. If it's a good time for you, I'm more than happy to bow out.
No, I'm not. I'm fine right now. I was like, I'm trying to think of something right now. You got a deck of Pokemon cards we can review real quick, or something.
You know what? I did a I don't know if you saw it last night because we had family in the house and that sort of thing. I didn't do any sort of live stream last night. I pre-recorded on Friday. So I did an episode basically when I was in the office going through Aussie slang and some things that may or may not actually be true about Australia. But I tried to add a little bit extra to it, so I actually opened a box of cards.
Oh.
I got right to the end before I realized I didn't have the mic on.
So you did a whole stream. You did a whole stream on silent.
Yep.
Is it up still?
Oh no! I didn't upload it. Thank God. Because it's just like it's literally just dead silence for an hour of just me opening cards, and there's specific sections there where it's completely blank because I was actually talking to the camera and explaining some things about various TV shows and stuff.
Well, do you want to go some of it here? We can do that a little bit.
Oh man, I can have a look, see what
The
I mean, it
drop
was a
bears.
Shining Fates box, but I mean, it was bloody. I mean, I picked up 2 of the most recent set boxes last weekend, and I picked up 2 Pokemon Go, what's called an ETB, which is the big ass boxes like this.
Oh wow!
One of them was absolutely amazing. It had
Yeah.
pretty much every pack had at least something good in it. The
Hmm.
second box, I swear they took all the good cards out of the second one, put them into the first one. There was absolutely nothing.
Oh.
But yeah.
So do your Pokemon? Never mind. I'm not gonna ask that question. That was really dumb. I'm not gonna ask it.
There are no dumb
That's it.
questions. Just to
Yeah.
understand, you may get a dumb answer.
Okay. Well, no. M2's asking about the drop bears.
Oh yeah, I did.
I've heard this is like a joke about koalas, but I'm not sure. Is that
Well,
like
see,
they
here's the
they
thing,
fall out
so-
of trees, right? Or
Oh, thank you, Mark. I appreciate that. Yeah. So drop bears basically is a God, I can't talk. It's a reference to koalas because they fall out of the trees when they're drunk off their asses on gum tree juice. But they sort of
wait, they get drunk off the what tree?
Okay, so gum trees, so eucalyptus trees.
Yeah.
They eat the leaves from those almost exclusively.
Sure.
But it gets them drunk. And they
It
fall out of the tree.
does?
Yes.
Oh wow. Also, I've heard eucalyptus trees are highly flammable because they're full of oil.
Yep. Eucalyptus oil is, I mean, we use it for all kinds of cleaning and for whatever you like. I mean, for my little girl's room, I use a mixture of eucalyptus oil and lavender oil mixed with some water for anti-monster spray. Works a treat. And it's a very good disinfectant as well. But yes,
Really?
that's part of the reason why bushfires down here are such a problem, because the trees when
explode.
they burn. Yeah, exactly.
So okay, so not only is it the spiders and the koala bears falling out of trees, but the
It's not
trees.
just the animals; it's the vegetation itself.
Yes, the
once
trees,
burns.
like the trees explode and catch fire. The trees are Molotov cocktails, basically.
Basically, yes, and no. So it does not stop the humongous spiders. Kookaburra sits in the old gum tree. Oh god. Yeah, I mean, look, and it's the whole thing about going through the animals as well with because not a lot of people understand that platypuses are actually poisonous. Sorry, venomous, I should say.
Mm-hmm.
The native Australian wildlife, there's very few things that won't try and kill you. Oh, we got some things coming through. What's that? Koalas don't have the bacteria necessary to consume eucalyptus when they're born, so they have to eat their parents' crap to get it in the system. Yes.
That's true. Wow. I thought they were so cute.
Oh, they are. But they're chlamydia-ridden little rat bags.
Okay, I remember you mentioned this before. So they, like, how do they get chlamydia?
I still don't know how it jumped species. I really don't. But by the time they tested, because a positive came up on one koala, it was in like 99% of the population.
It's kind of like how a dog got monkeypox and nobody really wants to admit what happened there.
Oh God, I hope not. I really, really hope not.
Okay. Well, no. No. So somebody, this couple got monkeypox, and then their dog tested positive for monkeypox, and it's like nobody's really wanting to answer how that happened. Although I think we're pretty sure.
Species.
Well, there's only one way to jump species.
Mm.
So okay, why the heck do so many koalas have chlamydia? And they say they're about science, so it's got to be true. Later. Debilitating bacterial chlamydia. Okay. There's a koala ward. There's a chlamydia ward at a wildlife hospital.
Yep.
Jeez. That's some 100% rate. Ooh, blindness, infertility, and death.
Yeah, it's not great for them. It's why
But
koalas
how
are
are they
dying out.
getting it though? Okay, so they catch it through sexual transmission, but how? Okay, and then yes, young koalas get it by eating the pap,
which
nutritious
is
poop.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So they pretty much got it from day dot in their system because they have to, because otherwise they can't, because they need the bacteria out of the feces to be able to process the eucalyptus.
Yeah.
But because of that, they also pick up everything else that's in the parent's gut, which is why it basically transfers to pretty much all of them. So, I mean, there is a small population that I think are in captivity at the moment that don't have it. But yeah, particularly again after the bushfires, koalas will probably be gone in the next. I think the outside estimate's 15 years because of how much the population reduced from the bushfires. There it is. Sharing is caring.
You mean from those fires you guys had like 2 years ago?
Yeah. Yep. It wiped out a good chunk of the population,
Oh
unfortunately.
no! Oh no! No, that's not good.
Hold up. Who just said nutritious poop?
Yeah. Drew Bradley. They weren't wearing condoms, probably. Yeah. Or how about those kids in New York that got monkeypox? That knew a few gay guys that got it too. Yeah, I know. Just happened.
Mm.
But really, they think they're going to be gone at this rate?
Yeah, I mean,
Oh,
they
no,
were
that
always
sucks.
they were always. I mean, they were always on a downward trend, but with what happened with the bushfires, it's really sped up the decline. I'm not even sure if they've changed from. Hang on, what are they listed as? Because I know that they were endangered, but have they been moved to critical?
I don't know. Can do people do anything with a koala? Like, they're vulnerable, according to Wikipedia. They're not endangered. Oh, really? Wow, they don't really live everywhere in Australia.
Oh gosh, no.
Well,
No,
I know
no.
there's like a lot of desert and shit, but like, there's only like the koala range is like that. And it's like, I thought there were a lot more than that.
Well,
Oh, so they're
early-
like you're like you're like right here, aren't you?
No, so more where that red is just like, yeah. So move slightly more across there. Bingo.
there.
That little area in there. That's Melbourne in there. And then probably about halfway between that and the other side where you were is where my regional office is as well.
So over here?
I basically travel from there through till about half a. Oh,
Your regional offices? Jeez.
oh yeah, I don't screw around. As Aussies say, I'm not here to fuck spiders. Where are we? So yeah, so earlier this year they were in fact listed as endangered under the EPA Act.
Wow. But so like you live in the middle of like Koala Bear Central.
Oh yeah. Like I said, there's been occasions where I've had to pull over and usher them off the road so they don't get hit by cars.
Do you ever just see them hanging around or no? Like I know you should see them on the road, but like, do you see them in the you walk outside, you'll see one in your front yard hanging from a tree or anything like that?
Oh no, not in suburban Melbourne.
No.
Like as soon as you get out of the suburbs into the regional area where there can be like actual eucalyptus trees and that sort of thing, you might. I mean, if you're talking Australian wildlife, you're more than likely going to see you're going to see snakes. Like one is this a World of Warcraft map?
It's new DLC coming. It's new DLC
that's
coming.
What I'm thinking.
Yeah.
The druids can summon fighting kangaroos. They're really missing a trick there. They really are.
I wish Launder was here for that reaction.
What was I going to say? No, look, the main like in the built up areas, you're not going to see a lot of the traditional Australian wildlife because unfortunately we've taken over a lot of their habitat for houses.
Yeah.
But pretty much as soon as you're outside of that, then you can see pretty much anything. I mean, wallabies, kangaroos, dingoes, foxes.
I thought wallabies were only in New Zealand.
Oh God, no! Go wash your mouth out with soap.
what?
Wallabies are Australian.
Oh, I thought they were New Zealand.
No. Our national rugby team is called the Wallabies.
Oh.
So yeah,
Why would they be called the Wallabies? That's not very like. That's not very like scary.
Clearly, you've never seen the photo of the team.
No, I know. No, but there was a. No, I went to a zoo one time with my nephew, and it was like they had this thing called the Wallaby Walk. Like you could walk up to the wallabies and shit, and they were just like
Oh
in
yeah,
this
yeah.
big pen, and you could like it was really cool. You could touch them. You're like, "Hello, Rocco." And you find another one. You're like, "Hello, Rocco." You know,
Sorry, I just twigged what you're talking about then.
you just walk up to
and you
each
see
one of
one
them.
walking around with a headset on.
Yeah.
No, look, to be fair, wallabies, quokkas, the various little small rodents can be quite cute.
Yeah.
But I still you don't realize it until you meet one. Never piss off a wombat. Like they're the sort of the small fat rodents that are potentially this big.
Yeah.
They get nasty if you piss them off. Like it's just if you go on a walk, you find a wallaby. Yeah, quite possibly.
Oh wow, yeah, they are called the Wallabies. It looks like Argentina beat your guys' asses though.
Yeah.
Wow, you got all them hiding secret Nazis beat your ass. 48-17.
Well, when you bring eugenics into it, of course they're going to have a stronger team than we are. Damn, I wish the stream deck was working. If I'd been able to put the rim shot on that, that would have been brilliant.
And you guys play South Africa coming up, it looks like.
Ooh, that's going to be a good game.
I'm sure it will be.
Not that I could really care. I mean, let's face it. I'm in Victoria, so I'm not really allowed to mention anything aside from AFL, Australian rules. They call it Australian rules, but it's mostly Victorian rules, which is a completely different game. So,
why are you? I don't. Why? Because you guys don't play rugby down there, or what?
oh no, look, Melbourne has its own rugby team, but rugby is more New South Wales, Queensland, because AFL was developed here in Victoria, and because like 22 of the 24 teams are stuck from Victoria. It's like
Yes.
saying, say baseball was played in New York and softball was played in Minnesota.
Okay.
Sort of thing. Okay.
Yeah.
It's similar games, like similar equipment and stuff, different rules, different ways to score. But people will literally go head to head over which code is more important and which one matters more. So
yeah.
No, Nero, honestly, it depends where you are. What's that? Isn't the vast majority of Australia?
Well, a bunch of the middle is.
Yeah. There's a reason that you don't go anywhere near the nullable plains, which is basically bottom and mid of that map. There's literally a road that runs through there. You set your GPS, it will tell you to go straight for 2 days.
That'd be awesome.
I think I made the joke.
You're like, oh, there's more flat. Oh, there's more flat.
That's basically it. You can literally you can set your cruise control. If you've got one of those cars that will keep you in lane, you could probably sleep the whole way.
But how can you are there gas stations along the way, or is it just like bring a couple cans of gas and?
Oh no, there's gas stations and that sort of thing.
Oh, because I didn't know if you had to like road warrior that and bring the gasoline and bring it with you. That would be hilarious. That would be worth it to do it that way. I stopped at the gas station before the last one out of town. Be like, wear a hockey mask. Wear a hockey mask and a crossbow would be great.
Plains.
So
I mean, look, the nullable plains is good because I mean it's okay. They actually have an interactive map, so you know exactly where you can stop for fuel along the way. Because it is in the middle of bloody nowhere. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's a half a dozen basically between where it starts and where it ends.
Like, are there like they don't actually? Do people live there?
Probably.
Or does somebody just like they work there and they go home somewhere else?
Stay there. I'm really not sure. Okay, so this map. Hang on, let me convert this into miles so I can actually.
We'll guess. We'll guess. It's okay. It's not far.
Yeah. Okay, so there's one basically where it's 120 miles either way for more gas.
Okay, that's not too bad.
Yeah, it could be worse.
So you call it's the. Wait. Okay. So the. Okay, I'm looking for the place here. Yellabina, right? Is what you said.
Sorry, the Nullarbor. Is that what you're talking about?
Oh, you said Nullarbor, Nullarbor. Okay, yeah. Oh wow,
Yep.
and it's like right on the ocean, and like nobody wants to live there.
Oh no, that's the road. So everything.
I know, but it's like right on the ocean. Like,
oh yeah, no, don't get me wrong.
be some
The road
cheap,
itself is
cheap beachfront property.
Cheap beachfront property doesn't really exist in Australia.
Well, it sounds like nobody wants to live here, so it sounds like pretty cheap.
True. Where are we, Drew? Yes, it does snow. So our mountain range actually does get a fair bit more snow than the Swiss Alps. So we get all the different types of the range of weather and that sort of thing. I personally don't get to go snowing very frequently. I've done it probably twice in the last 4 years. Leaving aside being stuck indoors for various reasons and whatnot. But I worked.
Yes,
with
we won't comment on that here.
Yeah, I worked with someone that was there pretty much every other weekend.
Really? So, is that kind of like a fun time then for everybody? Like, do people go skiing and stuff, or is that like?
I think it really depends on your personality, to be perfectly honest.
Okay.
I mean, if it's me, I'd rather be down at the beach, sitting on the sand, drinking a beer, watching the kids play around, just having fun in the ocean. I mean, obviously, it depends on temperature as well.
Yeah.
So, yeah, could be worse. Where are we? So,
I figure you answer these questions that you were all quiet for.
Sorry?
Figure you might as well get all these questions you didn't answer before. Or you did, but everybody didn't hear.
Oh, okay. What did I miss?
No. I'm saying when you talked about your video.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. No. The Australia stuff went up. Thank God. I managed to get that through. It was more the opening of the Pokemon cards that bore people to tears, frankly. I mean, some people find it as ASMR, which I'm very happy about. But the Nerdvana streams, I really just do just for me, just for, I do that whether it was on film or not, basically.
No, I get that. But I just, you did like the ultimate Ricada Boomer mute thing by doing the whole. Although I'm pretty sure I've done that once or twice myself, or I recorded it and it just like the camera wasn't in focus, and it goes out of focus partway through, and you're like, "Well, I'm not showing that one."
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Just reading back through the chat. Did you get appointed head of the ATF? Did you?
No, I got appointed head of the FBI. I saw that.
Oh, the FBI. Okay.
Yeah, which is great because, like, yes, I get. Oh, where's that map or where's that thing at? People put out. Do you have it?
Or, I can certainly get it quickly.
Oh, I got it. Never mind. I remember who sent it to me. Oh, don't do this to me. Stupid fucking Discord.
Oh, tell me about it.
Yeah, I hate this because it does this crap. Like, oh, you can't save that image. It never lets you do it. So somebody put together apparently like a people at the U.S. government if YouTube was in charge, and only the cool people on YouTube. So,
I think it was more of what would happen if Ricada would have run for president. Who would be in charge?
Yeah. So, anyways, you get through all these people. Screw them. I don't care about them. Yada 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 yada. Blah 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 blah. Yes, and then to me, I get to be the director of the FBI. Be very interesting one because either on my first day I completely abolish my entire agency, or not a big fan of them. I just fire everybody, or I just turn around and abuse power and go after people. I'm not really sure which will happen. So either extreme, either it's going to be really good or really, really bad.
That'll be fine. Legal minds, it's already basically abolished my country. So, given that I'm the Australian Foreign Minister, I basically just get to sit with my feet up for the rest of eternity. I got no issues with that.
Oh.
Have to probably actually emigrate or something, I suppose. So yeah, so
just asking a question: can you train a kangaroo
to do tricks, jump through a hoop, play dead, roll over? They play dead anyway. They will do that. They will lie on the ground. They will pretend to be dead, and then they will roll over and attack you.
What? Like,
kangaroos are assholes. Honestly, if you ever traveling through the outback, you go past a water hole and you see a kangaroo sitting in the water, like you might see it from chest up. Don't go anywhere near it. It is a trick. It will try and get you in the water, and then it will try and drown you.
Why?
Because they think it's fun, I assume. No, look, I don't know if they do it deliberately or if it's just that they see you as a threat or whatever, but yeah, just kangaroos are true Australians. Oh, kangaroos, yeah, they're stacked. You see the giant reds, they look like they've just spent 6 days doing arm day at the gym.
Wait, no, they look like they went to prison.
That works too. Yeah.
Hold on here. Okay.
Which makes sense.
Okay, kangaroo's playing dead. We're gonna watch this. Oh,
the kangaroo is so relaxed. Looks like the kangaroo is dead.
No, poor little kangaroo.
Mm.
He's still breathing.
So they'll look like this. You walk up to them and they just like kick into action.
Yeah, they just jump up, see you as a threat, and go boing.
But they look so cute. I mean, look at them. They're like all hippy hoppy.
Kangaroos are dickheads. Yep. I can't remember if it was you that I told about the strange thing that kangaroos do, though. They can they can have, well, I mean, yeah, I've said multiple strange things about kangaroos, but as it turns out, they can actually have 2 different, like, aged joeys in their pouch at any one time.
Oh, you did tell me this, yeah.
I did tell you that, yeah. I thought
that is crazy. Sudines, they like to marinate us. Nero's asking how's kangaroo meat.
Little gamey. I did actually say at some point I'll do a stream through a supermarket so everyone can see that yes, we do actually have it in our shopping centres. If at any point I do fly back up to Darwin, I'll also show off some crocodile steaks, which again, not bad, but you do have to cook that right. That's very much, it's like venison. It's very much an acquired taste.
Like kangaroos, do people eat like the tails, or do you only eat like certain parts?
It's actually a good question. Kangaroo steak would probably be you'd probably take most parts. I do think most of the steaks are tail, but sort of like oh god, what's the word? The like oxtail and that sort of thing. How you can cut that up for stew and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
You can certainly do that. Do kangaroos fight for sport and entertainment? If they
do, just saying, do people get kangaroos together and fight? I'm like, have you ever seen a cockfight before?
Yeah, okay, cockfight, dogfight, that sort of thing.
Well,
yeah,
have you ever seen a cockfight before?
I've never actually seen one.
Okay,
I'm aware of them.
Okay, I've never been to one. I mean, I know a lot about them, but I've never actually been to one for any law enforcement watching this, especially any recently or in the last 10 years. So, if the statute of limitations is longer than that, I'm in trouble. But yeah, cockfights are there's something to see in person. I can tell you that much. I don't know how big they are in Australia, but holy cow, you go to certain parts of in America, they are very, very common.
No, see, I would genuinely try and avoid that sort of shit because
I didn't know I was going to until I got there.
Yeah, see, that's usually how I wind up at strip clubs. I have no idea where we're going until we get there.
Yeah. Well, this strip club would have been a little better because I got there and I'm like, well, can't really just like, you can't just up and leave with the people that run those because that looks a little bad. So
yeah, no, I get that. All US aren't okay. Oh, and to answer your question, no, males do not have the pouches. They can't produce milk, so there's no need to. California thinks kangaroo leather is inhumane. Really?
Huh.
They're a fucking nuisance here. I'll happily just pick up the roadkill and ship it over to you if you can tan it and take it.
It's only my trip to Mexico from a hardcore cockfight to a donkey show in less than 4 hours. Awesome.
That must have been an emotional roller coaster for you.
Yeah. But no, that'd be interesting, like having kangaroos fight because they can fight. So.
Oh yeah, they definitely can. I mean, my opener part has a pair of kangaroos going at it.
Yeah.
Hold on, I don't know whether
wrestler
or not
what'd you say? Yes, the U.S. territory is well. They like doing a lot of quasi illegal stuff in our territories, so it's a little different. Yeah. Yes. There's a video where a guy punched a kangaroo because it was attacking his dog. Oh.
Punch didn't even phase it. No, it probably wouldn't have. If it was a big red, it probably would have looked at that guy and gone, "You're next."
Oh, okay, yeah. I think I found it. Hold on here. All right, here we go.
Forward to seeing Max on the board. When, to our horror, it turns out to be something else altogether. Oh no! Here!
Oh no!
Hey, go, just there. Whoa, go.
Oh, he was ball hunting.
Hey.
That's why the dogs got involved.
It's not as it seems. The big buck actually has hold of the dog, not the other way around. As Greg runs in, we realise this could get dangerous.
Holy shit! What the fuck is wrong?
Hang on, take the comment down so you can see the full video. Yeah, that's not good.
He's like, what the fuck?
He's already got the claws around the throat.
Yeah,
that dog's
why?
in serious trouble.
Why? Arnar.
If you're jumping for Joey, oh Jesus.
I mean, like,
yeah. No, that
first,
dog's
like,
in serious trouble.
If I didn't know that was a problem, I'd have been like, "Oh, that's gonna be like they're hugging each other. They're like, team mammal." Although it's like, guess
Let me put it this way: that dog has been specifically bred to go out and hunt wild pigs. Okay.
Do they have? Do you guys have wild pig problem out there?
Oh yeah, boars. I mean, I think you've seen cassowaries, the big ass birds with the horns on them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wild boars are killing them off.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so boars are a big problem for us, and it's going boar hunting is, it's a pastime. Let's face it, but
yeah, no, here in America
that's what these guys were out doing. They were basically hunting down some of those for sport.
Yeah,
and these poor dogs come across this. So that dog, in order to get into that situation, he's already been roughed up a little bit.
Yeah, I was gonna say because here in America, like in Texas especially, the boars are out of control. So. And that kangaroo doesn't look. That kangaroo's like not super tall.
No, so that's one of the smaller. That's a brown kangaroo. That's roughly average height for one of the males of that species. The reds are the massive ones that probably stand taller than you and me. But that one, like I said, that dog's in serious trouble.
Okay, yeah. At first, I'd have been like, "Aw, that's cool." Thank you for making me worried. Let's go, pupper. Good luck.
Dangerous.
Let it go, Tom. Let's go. The other dog's coming.
What the fuck? Like that? Is that real?
Yeah, that actually.
I mean,
went a
it
lot
looks
further
fake.
than
It
I
looks like
thought.
some CGI. Like this part looks like CGI. Like, he squares off with it. That's got to be fake.
It's not,
There's
I
no way
promise
that's
you.
real.
Hang on, let me see if I, because there's another one that I've seen.
Let it go, Tom.
There's no way that's real. Just bop. There's no way it's real.
Let it go, Tom.
That sounds like they actually didn't have to dub it. That's the real sound. Oh my god. Fuck is wrong with your? What the fuck is wrong with your country?
Hang on, that's the BBC one. Where's the?
Oh my god.
Oh, hang on. I'll flick you this one in private chat.
No,
BBC
oh.
video of the of kangaroos fighting,
Oh,
and
hold on here. Yeah, this is apparently yes, this is Animal Planet. So we're just so you
Animal
understand.
Planet.
Yeah, here you go.
Yep. Deadliest place on earth. They should just have that on the sign as you fly in.
Yes. Yes. Welcome to Australia. Watch your ass.
It's basically it.
Just run them over your fucking cars. Jesus Christ! If I come to Australia, I'm just gonna start hitting them. I'll just rent like a truck and just chase them down through the woods.
Oh, I tell you what. I mean, you probably have,
what now?
If you get the chance, there's a movie called The Crack. So
Yeah.
spelt the Irish way, CRAIC.
Yeah.
If you get the chance to have a look at that, probably about 3/4 of the way in, there's a truck driver in it, and she's just like, "Oh yeah, I hit the roos all the time. Hit a cow once, fucking thing exploded." One of the most quintessential Aussie things I've seen.
My God.
Munchkins?
Oh my gosh. Do your kids know like how? Oh yeah, we'll get back to that in a second. Oh my gosh. Okay, you guys are seeing this one. Hold on, I gotta bring this up. This hits home from Heat Shield. I once defended my dog from a bear by picking her little ass up and jumping in a truck and abandoning your campsite. Hey, sometimes that's what you got to do. Glad you got your dog out. But holy cow. All right, so Hayden sent this to me. I'm not sure why he shared it privately because we'll watch it together. But anyways.
And there's a kookaburra in the background just for good measure.
Holy cow. Oh, you got to take off, Hayden?
Yeah.
All right.
I will, but I'll leave you with this parting gift. There's a reason why we use their nut sacks as like a novelty thing. We stick them on the bottom of bottle openers, just so that we can say that we've proven that we have beaten one of these things.
What?
If you go to a tourist store here in Australia,
yeah,
you're almost guaranteed to find them. You'll
like,
find...
is it a real kangaroo nut sack or is it like a joke nut sack?
It'll be no. Well, depends whether or not you go to some place that's legitimate or not. But 9 times out of 10, it will be a legitimate taxidermy sack that is attached to a bottle opener.
Is that like an Australian bar mitzvah? Like you give your son like a knife and tell him to come back, like only when he's got kangaroo nuts in his hands, or what?
God, now I got tears in my eyes.
Listen here, Bruce. You can only come back as a man when you come back with kangaroo balls. So take this knife. And we'll see you later.
I've been thinking about putting together some care packages for some of you guys to throw in some Aussie stuff. I might just have to do that. I'll send over.
Oh my God.
Then it's some animal fur, and I've got to declare it. Fuck. Maybe not.
Then we have to worry about the Cleary Act. Like, yes. Yes, I needed the Department of Agriculture knocking on my door. Sir, do you know why you were sent a scrotum from a kangaroo? No, I have no idea. I don't know at all.
I'd do it just to screw with you too, you know.
Yeah, that's what I need the feds knocking on my door with kangaroo balls. My neighbor's like, "Hey, what was that all about?" Like, my girlfriend's gonna be like, "What? Why are we worried about a kangaroo penis?" Like, she's not gonna believe me. She's gonna think I ordered something really bad. So, if you do that, I'm in trouble.
Oh god, that'd be so worth it. All right, but yeah, I do have to go and spend some time with the fam. So
Of
thank you
course.
so much for having me on. I will
Thank
catch
you.
up with you soon.
Thank
Thanks
you so
very
much,
chat.
guys. If
As
you guys
always, stay
haven't
healthy,
subscribed to
working
Hating
wise.
on the Law Patrol, please do so.
Yeah, I'll be back probably in about 6 hours. So try and be a I'm generally a morning show for you guys. So let's
Yes.
face it. Coffee, bit of laughs, bit of law. So anyway, guys, I'll see myself out. Have a good day.
All right. Thanks, Hayden. Wow. Okay. So yeah, apparently you can they're all about those kangaroo nuts, I guess. Good times. Yeah, now we have to I know he's gonna send that'd be great. Have him send that to me. That would be awful. I don't know if people would believe me. The feds come knock on my door. That's what I have to worry about a search warrant over. Not a search warrant for any number of things I've ever said on the internet, but because I have kangaroo genitals. Oh, jeez. Yes, the deadliest place on earth. I know, that's why I'll never go there. I could go to New Zealand. I'll meet him like part way, but I'll never go to Australia. I mean, I'll go to that desert part where nothing lives, but yeah, that's about it. Awfully awesome. Well, oh, they are illegal in the USA. Hold on. Oh, wait, no, this is like a real thing. Oh my god, he wasn't joking. He was not joking at all, folks. Honestly, it only works if you're 100% innocent. Otherwise, it's shut the fuck up Friday. That's true. Don't talk to anybody, but these are like a real thing. Oh my god. You people are crazy over there. Just like taking kangaroo balls and sticking them on a bottle opener. You know. Some like Mad Max stuff right there. Totally. Yeah. Zero signal every day. Shut the fuck up Friday. Exactly. Every day. Shut up Friday. So, guys, it is. Oh, how much were they? Oh, I don't know. Let me see. How much are they? Well, on Amazon, they are $36. Sorry, 37. 37. That's not bad. It's not bad at all. Um, yeah, yes, I'm sure that dog it kicks a lot harder than your dog. um, wow, guys, it's 3 o'clock. I am gonna pack it in. It has been a fun night, but I gotta get some more stuff done tomorrow. So, um, yeah, you can get them on Amazon. Yeah, yeah. Here we go. Yep. Yeah, apparently we can get these on Amazon. So, yeah, kangaroo bottle openers, scrotum openers. Yeah. Such good stuff. So, So yeah, guys, that's it. We are done for the night. I don't know if I'll do anything tomorrow on Sunday during the day. Probably not. We'll be getting ready for the Marcus Wilson trial. The scrotum opener. Yeah, open up a scrotum opener with a scrotum. It's like iron sharpening iron, straight out of the Bible. So, all right, guys. Oh, the expert. Hey, what's up? How are you doing? So, scrotums are overrated. I don't know if I don't know if you could. I'm not going to agree with that one. You can say that. That's all you. Yep. Good night, Jim. So yeah, everybody, thanks again tonight. Thank you to Jim. Thank you everybody super chatted. Thank you everybody with the membership. Thank all the members. Thank everybody who's here. Everybody who liked, everybody subscribe. Yeah, that's really it. But yeah, expert, right at the end there. So yeah, you missed it. Missed everything. Bren for 19.99. Thank you for your super chat. Appreciate the support. Thank you for a fun night. Good night, everyone. I couldn't said it better. So, good night, everybody. And remember, just because you did it does not mean you're guilty. Unless you got kangaroo nuts. That sounds pretty bad.